employees, and scheduling, but one thing I never worry about is vehicles. Jody's has special fleet pricing, special in and out service, or free shuttle and pickup and delivery service. And they do everything: service, repair, and maintenance. That makes my life much easier. All my vehicles go to Jody's.
Latest technology and highly trained technicians means we could do it all. From the most highly technical repairs to everyday oil change specials, tires, everything, even diesels. Jody'sAuto.com. Schedule free shuttle service or pickup and delivery. Get a tire quote. Get financing. Jody's Auto Service Centers, voted best of the best by our customers year after year. We're your neighbors since 1984 with 3 full-service locations in Fort Smith and Van Buren. See for yourself at JODYSauto.com.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, occasional showers and thunderstorms, especially across the north, where you may see the potential for some heavier rainfall. Temperatures in the mid-70s north, mid-80s south. Chance of scattered rain and thunder tonight. Overnight lows will drop down into the low 60s, and then increasing sunshine. Highs in the mid-70s north, low 80s south on Tuesday. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Shamrock Liquor Warehouse, 5609 Midland Boulevard, your leader in fine wines, beers, and spirits. You're listening to The Morning Rush on ESPN 95.3, KERX Paris, Fort Smith.
Don't touch my beef jerky now.
Coming to you live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that doesn't respect you. If I'm all right. Why can't they dominate? And we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Well, Matt Jones may take it to the house. The dunk.
Both said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Phil Olson and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. What's my heart, dog? Let's go, man.
I have zero respect for saying no moss at halftime.
Even one Razorback. It's vintage Matt Jones. 1, 2, 3. Here we go. Right now, let's take the field.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olson and Matt Jones.
Good morning and a happy Monday on a cloudy one all across Arkansas. Great to be with you here for halftime on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com and the Hit That Line Now app. I'm Phil Elson, my partner Matt Jones. Christian Johnston, the Seaburger Movie Unit, is producing back in our ESPN Arkansas headquarters. And the theme of the day is you had to have that one. Didn't matter how you got it. Didn't matter what it looked like throughout the 60 minutes. But when push came to shove and the buzzer sounded, you had to have that one, and you got that one on Saturday on the Plains. Good morning, Matt Jones. Happy Monday to you. They had to have it. They got it. 1-0 in the SEC. It's a good Monday.
Absolutely happy Monday. Number 18, best player on the field, and it wasn't even close. Without him, it might have been a different ball game. Lots of mistakes, but lots of good plays, and the overall theme is we got the W.
I mean, do you worry about whether a win is pretty or ugly, whether the game is the kind of game where like, wow, look at these teams go at it, or wow, they set football back about 5 or 6 years? I didn't care about any of that. I didn't care if the final score was 2-0. For a program that won one SEC game last year and just struggled so mightily, you just had to have a win. It didn't matter who it was against. I don't think Auburn is really all that good. I think they've got some issues to deal with. Some of those may be personalities that are running the team, but you had to have it, and they got it. And I tell you what, I feel a little bit of the same way about this one coming up on Saturday against the Aggies.
Well, what I do, yes, I'm with you. We won the game. What worries me is free runners on passing downs. Taylon Green's an absolute athlete. He's a stud. He can see that free runner. He can get away from him, and usually they're in man coverage, so you take off running. but he's going to start with his eyes. He's not going to be reading the D-backs in the back half. He's going to be looking to see if a free runner's coming first. It's almost like when you're in the batter's box waiting for a pitch, and you're looking to see if it's going to hit you before you try to hit the ball. It's like there's a little gun shyness or going to it. So the free runners, and the turnovers, those would be the things that absolutely worry me. And Football 101, Phil, you protect from the inside out. These are mistakes that you're being made, that you're taught at a young age. You protect from the inside out. So A gap, B gap, free runners, that's not a recipe for success going forward. Got to get that cleared up, because I talk about this a lot. Whatever you do that the other team has success on you, whatever weakness you have, you're going to see it again the next week. The same type of blitz, the same type of scheme, some of those things that the other team had success, guarantee they're going to do the exact same thing to you.
And there's no doubt. I mean, even these first 4 games, if you're going by just watching who is getting a clear line of sight to the quarterback at times, it's the opponent much more often than Arkansas. But maybe that plays into their hands a little bit, because it seemed to against Auburn, where, got to be honest, I want Taylon Green out on the run. I want him flushed out of the pocket. I want him improvising. I want him using those legs, because I think, man, when I think of the weapons on this team, and it goes for both sides of the ball right now, the number one thing this team has going for them is Taylon Green's legs. He's amazing when he gets going, and it isn't even just a matter of what he does if he tucks and runs, just getting flushed out of the pocket and creating on the fly. How about the touchdown pass to Isaiah Satania?
Big time catch.
It was the same kind of thing that happened in the Oklahoma State game, except that ball went through Broden's hands. This one was a great catch by Satania. To me, that's what I walk away from this game at Auburn is they won that game on 3rd and long. They won that game on Taylon Green's ability to avoid the pass rush and create on the fly. And for anybody that was, sort of wondering if Green should remain at quarterback, which was a little bit of an issue, or at least an issue on the show over the last week with some texters and callers, this is Taylon Green's team. It ain't anybody else's team. This is Taylon Green's team. And the passing numbers aren't pretty from Auburn, but I feel like he did more to win that game than anybody else on the offensive side. And yes, TJ Metcalf, how about that performance? To be in on 4 turnovers. And hey, if Satania's catch is the biggest offensive play, how about Metcalf stripping their running back Alston of the ball when he was about to take it into the end zone? That was about as game-changing of a play as you'll find all year.
Man, big time. It reminded me of the Honey Badger. If you remember him at LSU, he could kind of take over some games, get a fumble recovery, return a kick for a touchdown some kind, getting his hands on the ball. That tip, then when he tipped it up, absolutely for that first for that first Oski, first turnover. Man, and Satania's catch, that's one of the best catches so far this year. The concentration to absorb the contact and still come down with it. Man, and that's a big play. He's rolling again left, throwing across his body, just flicking it up there, seeing the one-on-one coverage. And man, when they teach you, they teach you when it's one-on-one coverage and the D-back's head is not looking at the quarterback, throw it. Throw it right at the back of his head and let your receiver go up and catch it. And that's what Satania did. Great catch by Satania.
Well, it wasn't the most, I mean, you could say it was exciting. I don't know if I've ever seen a game with 4 turnovers over about a minute 57. The end of that first half was just kind of crazy. It was just like some kind of football game, a hot potato. No, you take it. No, you take it. No, you take it.
It was 2 teams that didn't know how to win. It was 2 teams that are uncomfortable with, they don't know how to handle success. They're not used to winning. They're not used to grinding. There's you could tell it's 2 teams that are very green, that are, they're not used to, they don't know how to close. They don't know how to win. And then eventually maybe this got us over the hump. Sometimes you have a, not your best game, but you find a way to win, and that's what we did. We found a way to win.
Yeah, I kind of thought. I remember a Steelers team where they just couldn't do anything with the ball offensively, and you felt like the best chance to score was to get the ball back, thanks to an interception or a strip sack, and set up your offense, on the opponent's side of the field or maybe inside the 20. That's how I feel a little bit about Taylon Green. Like, I wouldn't want anybody on most teams to worry about too many free runners. But, Matt, I really do think that when he is on the run, look, I haven't seen enough of the other players across the SEC, but he's got to be in the top 5 of most dangerous players.
Like dual
league.
threat guys?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
His arm strength is amazing. And it's just, Satania just found a way to get behind the defense on a play where it was a broken play. So much. You can look at the scheme of a game, and yes, offensive coordinators have a lot to do with how an offense performs, but when the play breaks down, it's about your creativity and the ability, in Andrew Armstrong's words, to find open grass. And that's what Satania found. And a lot of it just had to do because the play broke down. Hey, I'm not saying just let the free runners all season, but I do think that might play into Arkansas's hands a little bit as we go throughout the year. Now, with that said, I think the competition continues to get tougher on a week-by-week basis. A&M, they're better than Auburn. That's what my expectation is. And they run the ball with success, too, just like Arkansas, with running backs and the new freshman quarterback, Marcel Reed, who's, he's about as dual threat as anybody else as well. And after that, Tennessee, and I don't know if there's anybody playing any better than Tennessee right now. So you're going to have to play better to win these next 2 weeks. But this is a game that I think you're right, too, Matt. It's two teams that really aren't sure how to win, really kind of green when it comes right down to it. But I do think, and maybe I'm projecting a little bit, maybe it's just because I saw them win, last year's team would have found a way to lose that game instead of what you saw in the end, which was them put the team away with a 12-play, 75-yard drive that went over 6 minutes, and the last 10 plays were all runs. I thought that was an indication of a team that might be slowly figuring out what it takes to win a game, because a drive like that in the fourth quarter sometimes is what it takes.
Man, that defense lights out, shut out in the first half, and honestly, the receiver runs a little option route on 4th and 3 for that 65-yard touchdown, and number 8 just steps the wrong way. If you break down and contain right there and wrap up, it's it's a first down, but you can't. That's how good these SEC teams are, man. For an instance, if you take a wrong step, number 5 for Auburn, that's their best player. You knew that was going to the house. So wrong step there, but for the most part, man, that defense A+. Seriously, a shutout in the first half, 5 turnovers. Can't turn the ball over on the first play twice in a row again. You gotta. I don't know. Run the ball, maybe. Let's don't turn the ball right back over 2 times in a row. That's just heartbreaking right there. But the defense, you can't ask for any more out of your defense. A+ for the defense.
Do we feel a little bit better about Arkansas football today than we did on Friday? I think I do, just based on seeing them win. Again, if it was 2-0, heck, if it was 3-2, I'd have felt better about it. While at the same time thinking, yeah, maybe this would be a little bit ugly, but hey, it's football. There's ugly games out there, and you very well may end up with another ugly one on Saturday at Jerry World. And that's the same idea. With the house of horrors that stadium has been, with the complete lopsidedness of what this rivalry has been since A&M joined the SEC, I don't care about – does anybody care about style points for the rest of the season? Truthfully, with who you got coming in at home, I say make every game ugly. Maybe that's how this team is able to win games. But you got to feel better about them today than you did on Friday. At least that's how I see it.
100%, man. It's hard to win. You know this. We've been doing this show for a couple of years now, and we don't have a lot of road wins. We can put them on one hand. Our 2 SEC road wins since we've been doing this show. So man, they're tough, extremely tough to get. You got to be proud. Be proud of your ball club. Be proud of this team. Be proud of the way they fought. That there wasn't a lack of energy, great effort. I love how Armstrong plays. I know we got all show to talk about it, but man, Armstrong, he plays like he has a joy, has a smile on his face, has a love for the game, gets popped. He kind of just shakes it off and gets back up and says, let's go to work. Give me the rock, man. It's Armstrong's, and each week it seems like I watch Armstrong play. He's improving his draft stock, no doubt.
I was impressed that he got his clock clean and came back a couple of plays later. Of course, it was after the long delay following Champ Anthony's pretty gruesome.
Did he hurt his knee? Is that what he heard
like.
a couple plays later?
He
was
like
in a leg
leg,
cast.
Matt.
Oh, man.
Yeah. we couldn't see it happen, but one of the because it happened right in front of the Arkansas.
I didn't see. They didn't show a replay either. Yeah.
Well, that'll tell you all they need to know, right? If they don't show the replay. Yeah. Because they'll show a replay of a mild injury, but not if there's bone sticking out of leg. And based on the Arkansas staffer that threw a towel over top Anthony's leg so nobody could see it, that's my guess, that there was something you just didn't want to see right there, which ESPN thankfully didn't want anybody to see either. But as he was carted off the field, you know who was in the Arkansas huddle at that very moment? Andrew Armstrong. He was right there watching the guy that absolutely clocked him get stretchered off the field, and you know, he did give him a thumbs up. So I know Armstrong, if you're a baller, you got to appreciate that it was as clean of a hit as there can be, and it was as hard of a hit as there can be, but he bounced back, and I thought that said a lot about Armstrong too, Matt.
Absolutely, and you can get him back. Coach Nutt had a saying. He said, man, somebody pops you, you say, hey, I'll see you in 25, because there's a you'll get a run play, you'll get somebody slipping, he'll get lost with his eyes. If that's what you want to do and you're ahead, there'll be plenty of opportunities throughout the game to go knock him one. And you hate it that the kid got hurt, but hey, that's nobody feels sorry for you. You keep on rocking, keep on moving, and the game goes on.
Halftime today includes Connor O'Gara from Saturday Down South about 1:15 for a look around the rest of the SEC. Nobody in hour number 2. Mike Irwin from Pig Trail Nation joins us at 11:30. That'll be before Sam Pittman's press conference. So right now we'll open up the phone lines after the break. 877-377-6963. Great to be with you for halftime today. A Victory Monday, and we'll be right back after this.
This is halftime. Want to let your voice be heard?
Y'all get me going to work every morning, so I appreciate what you guys do.
Send us a voicemail on the Hit That Line app and speak your truth.
Cheering for the other SEC schools is like cheering for the devil because he's in the Bible.
I mean, I would need a six-pack and a catheter.
Leave us a message for ESPN Arkansas after every Razorback game with our Hit That Line Now app.
You guys are the best. I totally disagree.
Man, hey, them hoes can't do no wrong, fella.
ESPN Arkansas, more than just sports radio.
Over 11,000 off on remaining 2023 GMC Sierras, or up to 7,000 off on remaining GMC Yukon XLs at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. These are the largest factory discounts in years, so hurry before they're gone. Plus up to 6,500 off on in-stock 2024 GMC Sierras. Conquer the road with confidence in a GMC Sierra from Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Hey, is your roof leaking? Do you have hail or wind damage? Is it just looking old and worn out? If so, you need to call Hoghead Roofing, a family-owned and operated roofing company where the #1 customer is you. They will give you their honest opinion on whether your roof needs replaced or repaired. They have folks that have worked on the insurance side so they can assist with all claims. Licensed, insured, and ready to serve you. Call Hoghead Roofing today at 479-522-0840. God bless.
Summer is here and adventure is calling. Visit Southern Tire Mart for a new set of Yokohama tires to get your vehicle ready for summer travels. Southern Tire Mart is your trusted partner for top quality tires, professional services, and competitive pricing. Visit us in Fort Smith at 9700 Highway 271 and let Southern Tire Mart ensure your vehicle is ready for the open road. Southern Tire Mart is a proud dealer of Yokohama tires. We keep America rolling.
When you need legal help, turn to the law offices of Craig L. Cook. With over 40 years combined experience, the Cook Law Team works for you. If you've been injured in an auto accident, hurt on the job, a victim of nursing home negligence, or need help with bankruptcy, Social Security, wills, trusts, estates, or family law issues, Craig Cook will go to work for you. Call us today, 479-783-8000. The law offices of Craig L. Cook with locations in Arkansas and Oklahoma. We work for working people.
At Dobson Fiber, we're helping you build stronger connections by bringing the fastest internet network available to your business. Why fiber? Fiber internet provides reliable, symmetrical, blazing speeds. Without any interruptions or buffering, you can rely on Dobson for all your data needs. With Dobson Fiber as your premium internet provider, you can focus on the things that matter and the connections you build. To see if fiber is available to you, visit Dobson.net. Dobson Fiber, building stronger connections.
Hey, fans! Welcome back to Fansville's Cheers and Tears. Oh. Okay, so like everybody deals with losing, right? To a rival on a last-second field goal. Whatever, it's fine. I'm totally fine. But I cope with losing with an ice-cold Dr. Pepper. Those 23 flavors are like so delicious. They totally wash away the pain of your college football team taking a big fat L. College football, it's a pepper thing.
As our focus moves to the grass on the field, it's time to shop WT Equipment's closeout deals on Hustler zero-turn mowers. These machines are built like tanks and drive like sports cars with fabricated welded steel decks and all the power you need and a warranty to match. Don't settle for cheap units from the big box store. Come see WT Equipment and they'll guide you to the right mower for you and your budget. Hurry, deals while supplies last and they're priced to move. WT Equipment, your partner in progress.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Don't you worry about what's on your mind. I'm in no hurry. I can take I'm going red. My tongue's getting tired. My tongue's getting tired. I'm up ahead. My mouth's getting tired. I better cha-cha-cha over. Let's spend the night together. I need you more than ever. Let's spend the night together.
Find Halftime on 99.5 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith and the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs and Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Join the conversation. Call or text 877-377-6963. Now back to the host. Here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Oh, look at that. TJ Metcalf is SEC Defensive Player of the Week with no co in front of his name either.
No question, man. That was one of the best performances I remember, Phil. Tony Bua had 21 tackles one year against Tennessee. You have Lawrence Richardson single-handedly winning a game for us against UNL. I mean, you see, you have defensive players that you remember, but that was a one of a kind.
4 solo tackles, 2 pass breakups. One of them was a breakup that he tipped to Danico Slaughter.
He caused 4 of the 5 turnovers on his own. That's right.
He handled the interception on an overthrow. The forced fumble, though, is for me the play of the game. That and the pass to Satania, because they were about to take it in. I mean, they were taking it in. They were about to tie the game up, and it wasn't going to be good. In fact, they were getting little chunks of yardage then against the Arkansas defense on the ground. In fact, Auburn finished the game averaging, they got 5.5 yards per carry. That's even with a couple of the sacks. Hogs really, it took a little bit of time to get the ground game going till that last drive, really, where I think it was the last 10 plays, all running plays. But I wonder so you think about where your yards have to come from. You need production from your running back. You need production from your quarterback. But does it always have to be passing yards from your quarterback? Am I getting a little too simplistic with this? You look at me, total offense is a combination of your passing and what you do running the ball. And I think there might be only one other quarterback in the SEC that's doing what Green is doing as far as total offense is concerned. And also consider what did he have rushing yards against Auburn? It was 118 rushing yards, and there were 3 sacks that knocked his total back to 80. So, I mean, he really accounted for quite a few more yards than they give him in terms of net yards. And so, I mean, here's a question Matt and Baldwin asks, Matt. He asked, is Green better as in a pocket passer like Mallett, or get him to the edge and run play action, like he says, like a Matt Jones? And you've also said you picked up that he looks like he's more comfortable throwing to the sidelines than in the middle of the field, unless it's a broken play, then I think.
Well, what's amazing and what really stands out is his decision-making on third down. That's the money down. Getting into the red zone. I think he's turned the ball over twice now in the red zone with that pick he had. I don't know if he was, maybe he quite wasn't. We weren't in the red zone yet. That was just sudden change. You got to work on it. He's
close enough to the red zone.
Yeah, it was close. So you don't want to turn the ball over in the red zone. He took a sack that got us out of field goal range in the game too. It's like you can't take a sack there when you're on the 25-yard line and it's 3rd and 9. Then you get sacked 12 yards. It's like, man, what? But that's another thing that's on our offense. A lot of 3rd down pass downs. There's free runners coming, so it's hard to run a play action where he turns his back to the line. That's how he got sacked on that first one. You got to keep his eyes going forward. But my thing is it comes down to his 3rd down conversion numbers, and our 3rd down percentage right now is the best I remember seeing through 4 games. And actually through 3 games, but it's the best I remember seeing. It's hard. The defense gets so discouraged, Phil, when it's 3rd down and 8 and they get another first down. It's 3rd down and 7, they get another. And especially when it's such a high clip, when we're 55, 60% for the game, 49. It's just. Man, it puts a lot of pressure that keeps the defense out there. It allows your running game late in the 4th quarter to be able to run the ball a little better because they're a little more tired. They're arm tackling, and if you're an SEC running back and you're getting arm tackled, you're not an SEC running back.
Arkansas is at 61% for 3rd down conversions. That's 2nd best in the country. If you eliminate them going 9 for 9 against UAPB on 3rd down, still really good. 27 out of 50. That'll play.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's against Oklahoma State, UAB, and Auburn. And, the Auburn game is the first game of the year, Matt, where they actually converted fewer than 50% of their 3rd down conversions. But it's like you said, it was 3rd and long when they converted, especially like on that last drive. You converted on a pass interference. You converted on Green scrambling. I got this here. Green was 6 for 8 on 3rd down, passing the ball for 105 yards. Every other down, 6 for 21 for 46 yards. Think about that. 1st and 2nd down, 6 completions. Same amount on 3rd down. 21 attempts and just 46 yards, so it's all short stuff. 6 for 8 on 3rd down, and most of those were 3rd and 10. 3rd and 11, 3rd and 13, 3rd and 10, 3rd and 19 for crying out loud was the touchdown pass to Isaiah Satania. I would say this, it's unsustainable because you're probably not going to convert, and this would be counting 2 of the 2 penalties that Auburn gave you on 3rd and long. They converted 8 3rd and longs, long being 9 yards or more. 8. You're going to be able to convert that on a consistent basis? Probably not. But it does tell me, Matt, that they can get themselves out of some sticky situations. And it's mostly because of Taylon Green.
Well, his legs are he's up there. I really watch. I watched some other games this weekend, but as far as you watching the Razorback games and the way he can run and beat you, and if you're gonna give a free runner and play man behind, that's one thing. Coach Nutt and Coach Wiki, even David Lee. You can make that guy miss. Usually it's a line, but the court, you should be able to do something and make him miss. If it's not DeMarcus Ware, and we'll be playing against some good guys. But when everybody turns their head to the quarterback because they're guarding a receiver or a tight end or a running back, oh my goodness, that's take off. That's play 1. That's a 3rd down play where
in 69-63. Brought to you today by the Stadium Shop on Razorback Road. You're going to be gearing up for a lot of home games coming up because after this next week, 5 of the remaining 7 games are at Razorback Stadium. We're also within 2 months from basketball season. You got to have everything Razorback, whether it's your tailgate, whether it's your man cave, your she shed, your dorm room, game day. Doesn't get any more Razorback than the Stadium Shop. Robert, Elizabeth, and Matt are local. They're family alumni, and they've owned and operated the Stadium Shop since it opened. 479 Stadium or shoponrazorback.com. Mike Irwin from Pig Trail Nation on Halftime right after this.
This is Halftime. You can now download our new app in the iTunes or Google Play Store. Listen anytime and anywhere on your favorite mobile device. Just search Hit That Line now.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online at hims.com/joy. Through HIMS, you'll get a free medical consultation to determine the ED medication that's best for you, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and a range of treatment options, including trusted generic alternatives to the name brands, at up to 95% off. ED is personal, and at HIMS, so is treating it. Just go to hims.com/joy and get connected to a licensed medical provider online for free, with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. hims.com/joy.
You're listening to Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
It's the test drive giveaway this weekend at Harry Robinson's Salisaw Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off of I-40 in Salisaw. Test drive any vehicle on the lot, and you're entered automatically to win some great prizes just in time for hunting season. Crossbows, deer stands, game calls. It's a great package that they've got for you. And you've got a great selection of pre-owned vehicles right now on the lot.
Yes, we definitely do. You know, I've actually bought over 20 units in the last 7 days to prepare for this sale that we've got going on. So come down here and see us at Harry Robinson Salisaw Ford. You're not going to find a better deal anywhere else. Up there on the sign, it says our prices will not be beat. So come down here and see us, and it's the test drive giveaway. Guys, all you have to do is come test drive a vehicle, and your name gets entered, and you can be one of the lucky winners.
You got till Monday at close to get in on the great deals during the test drive giveaway at Harry Robinson's Salisaw Ford. 1 mile south of exit 308 off of I-40 in Salisaw, and always online at harryrobinson.com.
Hi, this is Lindsay White with White Office Machines. For over 90 years, my family's been serving the greater Fort Smith region with the image industry's newest technologies, as well as providing superior customer service through long-term business relationships. As the area's only authorized Kyocera document solutions dealer, White Office Machines provides the best value with high-speed copiers and the latest multifunction printers. Stop by our office in downtown Fort Smith or in Russellville. Follow us on Facebook or go to whiteoffice.com.
White Office Machines since 1929.
Hey, it's Ty Richardson, and we're inside of Lily's Sandwich Shop in the Bakery District in downtown Fort Smith. I'm with my guy, Josefa. Today, it was the French toast turkey melt, but other daily specials every single day.
Yeah, Ty, we just kind of want everybody to know that we're not just sandwiches around here. We have all kinds of different specials. There's always something different right here at Lily's Sandwich Shop.
Award-winning Lily's Sandwich Shop in the Bakery District in downtown Fort Smith. Don't believe me? Talk to Lily.
My name is Lily. My papa makes the best sandwiches at Lily's Sandwich Shop. Come by and see him at the Bakery District today.
Back at Harry Robinson's Salisaw Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off of I-40 in Salisaw. You can't beat the selection, you can't beat the prices, and you can't beat the deal just from test driving a vehicle. You get entered into a drawing for great prizes just in time for hunting season. You can't beat a Ford, the #1 truck on the road for more than 45 years.
Yeah, over 45 years. And, you know, Tommy, we're super excited here at Harry Robinson. All the employees get really excited when we do these test drive giveaways. You don't have to do anything to enter other than test drive a vehicle. Your name gets entered. And, you know, you always hear these giveaways, and they only give away one thing, right? We are going to have multiple winners. We've got crossbows. We've got compound bows, deer stands, deer feeders, call packs. I mean, come down here and see us. I promise you our deals will not beat. This is where you want to buy your next vehicle, and just come down and test drive a vehicle and get your name entered for that giveaway.
The test drive giveaway going on now through Monday. Harry Robinson, Salisaw Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off of I-40 in Salisaw.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
In the cool of the evening when everything is getting kind of groovy, I call you up and ask you if you'd like to go with me and see a movie. First you say no, got no plans for the night, and then you stop and say,
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Morning, Mike. 1-0 in the SEC. Can't really worry about how you get it done, I guess. You just need a win against a team like Auburn, and they got it done. What's your thoughts on Arkansas 24, Auburn 14?
Well, J.J. Metters commenting yesterday on social media put it as well as anybody. He said a lot of fans don't understand how hard it is to win any game in the SEC. I mean, the league is loaded. A lot of complaints from fans who are not going to give this team credit for anything, saying, well, they didn't beat a very good team. I'll just say this. By SEC standards, I think when the season's over, no, Auburn's not going to be very good. If you look at the schedule they have left, they may not win an SEC game. I mean, they're not playing Mississippi State. There's no divisions left. And I don't know, maybe they can beat Vanderbilt, but Vanderbilt's no pushover this year. I think that's why they went all out to win this game. I think Hugh Freeze had his guys pumped up. I think he told them you can out-physical Arkansas, hit them in the mouth, and win this game, and then you saw him come out, the hit on Andrew Armstrong, but what did he do? He got right back up, came back in the game, and ended up being one of the big forces in the game offensively for Arkansas. And in the fourth quarter, in a very physical game, I thought Arkansas finally just wore those guys down with that long ball control on the ground drive. So, I mean, it was a big win. Arkansas had to have it, so did Auburn. And right now, I wouldn't want to be Hugh Freeze, I promise you.
Yeah, I don't know where you want to start. I want to start with something positive, Mike. Have you noticed our third down conversion rate? And like, what is the success? Is it just the fact that he is a dual threat quarterback and he's able to being able to do things with his legs? But the way we're picking up third downs this year is pretty remarkable.
Well, he's got, again, every time he makes a mistake and people start saying he's too inconsistent, he comes back and does something with his legs, and sometimes it's in the passing game. It's not just running. I mean, he didn't get benched, but I think a lot of fans thought he got benched in the third quarter. Apparently he had cramps, but he'd just thrown a pick. Those guys had come back and scored and tied that game up for the first time, and he came back on the field and threw the longest touchdown pass he's had in his career, I think, 58-yard to Satania. That was huge, and that's called responding. That's what you have to do. I don't know how long it's going to take for him to be more consistent. Jaquindon Jackson seems to be his spokesman every week. He sounded off again after the game about how he gets nervous. Well, they got to figure out a way to get him over the nerves because he's got the ability. I do think, guys, sometimes he doesn't see the field real well. I think that's why he targets Armstrong so much. Armstrong's good and catches the ball. But I think that's why Broden is still in there, even though he's struggling, is because he's 6'7". And I think it's why Satania doesn't always get targeted because he's not as tall. So you may have a quarterback that right now just doesn't see the field as well as he'd like to. I'm not a quarterback. I don't know what you have to do to develop that. A lot of people questioning why the tight ends aren't more involved. I don't know the answer to that. We're supposedly going to ask that question at the press conference today. But this looks a lot better than it did look. I really didn't know if they'd win this game. I didn't. After what happened against UAB, I wasn't sure. But they came out and really played well in this game.
We got a question from D in Fort Smith. Wanted to know about how long you roll with a coin flip kicker. The other aspect of that is we don't know what Matthew Shipley is because he hasn't had a chance to go out there and play yet. Although I think he had a couple of kickoffs at Auburn this past weekend. But Kyle Ramsey, so he missed one. He did hit another one. It was a pretty important field goal. It just feels like it is a little bit of a coin flip, and maybe that's just what you're going to deal with this season. That's my sense.
Well, Pittman says that's nerves. He thinks there's nothing wrong with him as a kicker. He gets in front of these SEC crowds, and sometimes, kicks off to the left is what I'm seeing. But he did come back. That second field goal was really important, and he made it. So I don't think there'll be a change there. Those people that want Taylor Green to be benched, even Clint Sterner came back to yesterday and said, well, wait a minute here. I think, he's your quarterback. I just don't see how you can look at this situation and say you want to put a redshirt sophomore in there that with virtually no experience and throw him into the middle of the SEC when he didn't really have any build up to this except for that season opener game.
He had a throw. He got in and threw it into the dirt, the receiver was open and he threw it into the dirt. And what you're talking about a little bit, Mike, when you get a free runner a lot, Taylor Green does look at the pass rush before he looks, so he knows where Armstrong is, but that's also why he's able to dodge the free runners. When you're seeing a blitz, you can see kind of what's going on there. But let's talk about T.J. Metcalf, number 18. And the game I'm trying to think of just like to put that game up there. He single-handedly won this game for us. I mean, without him, I don't know if we win. Tony Bua had 21 tackles against Tennessee. He made some plays. Where do you put that T.J. Metcalf game?
It was up there. I mean, the SEC Player of the Week, no co-Player of the Week, Player of the Week. Look, he had 2 picks. He got his hand and deflected a pass that ended up being the 3rd pick, and he had a strip on a surefire touchdown, and that was a heck of a play. So, I mean, he had so many impactful plays in this game, and the guys got confidence, and they just need to get other guys more involved. But there was a complaint going into this game, guys, no pass rush, no sacks. What's going on with this D-line? Well, you had 2 sacks. You had 4 thrown for lost plays. You had numerous quarterback hurries. I'm convinced the reason that both our Auburn's quarterbacks were throwing picks is because they were being harassed. So I think that complaint went by the wayside. This defense got it going in this game.
They got it going, but it was also where those turnovers occurred. I mean, their running back, Alston, was about to score when TJ stripped him. I think it was at the 5-yard line. And then I don't know if it was within the red zone, but it certainly was close on the pass that Metcalf got his hand on and Slaughter intercepted. So there was a little feeling of a bend but don't break. But it also, I mean, this goes to what they're being coached at, the way that TJ talked about with how Travis Williams tells them the angles you're going at. And I've seen Jaden Johnson try to strip a running back, or I think it was a receiver from UAB near the goal line too. They're going for those sort of plays. It worked out for TJ in that case. Now you got to wonder can they continue to, I guess you would say, hawk the ball. It's not too many games you get 5 turnovers, but you do have an A&M team coming in that's had a little trouble throwing it to the opponent too. 6 interceptions in 4 games.
Exactly. I think there's no question A&M's a better team than Auburn, but what you have to understand, in this game, Auburn gave it their best shot. They didn't look like the team I saw. I watched the replay of that Cal loss. They didn't even look like that team. So Auburn was all in. They played above their heads, and I don't know that the A&M game is going to be any more physical than that game was. Again, a lot of it's I think the defense will respond, just whether or not Taylor Green can just be a little bit more consistent or do what he's been doing and figure out a way to make a play when he has to. I feel pretty good about their chances to win that game. Bobby Petrino always had good luck in Jerry world.
And I understand the job of being an SEC head coach, and a lot of people had Napier. A lot of people might have had Pittman. I didn't, but outside media, as far as being the first SEC coach fired. Hugh Freeze, could he be the first? Could he be fired this season? How are you feeling right now if you're an Auburn fan?
Well, he went all out on this game. Now what do you do? Because you got your guys all jacked up. Now you can't be emotional. You can't win every game on emotion. And now the rest of their schedule is brutal. Now, their fans did jump in and defend him when Bo Wallace, that was an incredible exchange on X, where the former Ole Miss quarterback under Freeze, Bo Wallace, who's now, I guess, an offensive coordinator in the junior college ranks, he just went off on the guy. Said his senior year he jacked him up with painkillers and all kinds of stuff, and said he didn't do it for me, he did it for himself. And he said it's time he stopped blaming players and accept some of the blame for himself. He said, my son will never play for him. Now, Auburn fans defended Freeze, but because look, Bo Wallace is an Ole Miss guy. They're not going to, at this point, they're not going to side with him. But if you don't win an SEC game this year, and you get to the end of the year, and especially if that affects recruiting, because right now Auburn is recruiting really well, but is it going to hold up? And that was a scathing attack from a guy that used to be one of his quarterbacks.
Kind of wondered if we may see Walker White at some point for Auburn, huh? And I think you hit it on the head. It's a lot of it has to do about how the recruits feel, because you can even hear in the things that Freeze was saying after the game is we've got to find a guy. We've got to find a guy. We need a team that does. It already feels like he's over his second year at Auburn, and he's looking to his third. It's just you can't ever guarantee there is a third, because the way you're talking, Mike, you're looking ahead at them, OU, Georgia, Mizzou, Kentucky on the road, maybe Vandy. I mean, who knows, 1-7. I don't think that's something that they would necessarily accept. But I do see Arkansas right now, like this past Saturday's game, Mike, to me that feels like a game that last year's team would have lost, found a way to lose. I know it's not one of those one-score games, but it was pretty close to it. And the reason it wasn't a one-score game is because they had that late drive where they just ran it down Auburn's throats, and Jackson, nudged the ball up against the goal line. To me, that is sort of a one-score game, even though the final score was 10.
Yeah, exactly. All these complaints, I consider it, they're saying he loses all these one-score games, but he loses close games. Well, he didn't lose a close game here. Another complaint is, well, they start off playing well, and then they run out of gas in the second half. Well, we know that didn't happen. They dominated the fourth quarter. Some guy sent me a text and wanted to know when Arkansas is going to play four full quarters. Well, they did in the season opener. But, I don't know how you look at this game, but they never lost a quarter of this game. They dominated the first quarter even though there was no scoring. They had 2 long drives and scored 1 play into the second quarter. So they dominated and won that first quarter. I think it was pretty much a draw in the second quarter, but they certainly didn't go backwards. And then they won the third quarter and won the fourth quarter. So I just think some of these things are going away that people have been hanging on. They've still got a lot of work to do. It could still go the other way. I mean, they won one SEC game last year. I guess they could not win another one the way things go, and then they'd be back where they started. But this is just a better team. It's better defensively, and I think they've got a happier quarterback, a quarterback that's happy with the offensive coordinator as opposed to last year.
It also feels like, so I really like the depth of the backfield. I like what we saw from Braylon Russell at Auburn. Rodney Hill has shown a little bit. Do you feel like Satania's really the number 2, or was this sort of just like a one-off game? Because they're still looking to Tyrone Broden as often as he's looked to Satania. It's just Broden just can't catch the ball right now, and Satania caught everything that came to him in Game 4.
Yeah, again, I think Petrino keeps bringing him out there because Taylor Green is comfortable with his height. He can see him, but he's got to start catching the ball. I mean, you can't just go with this guy the entire year when he's dropping everything that gets thrown his way. So I'm not sure what they're going to do in that respect, but that's another complaint about the passing game. And this one doesn't have anything to do with Green. It's the receivers, some of them anyway. Some of them, and really it's just one guy. And then the other question mark is what's going on with the tight ends? And I'm not sure about that. That's a question that's going to get asked today at Sam Pittman's press conference. But that's a legitimate bewilderment to me, because when you got Luke Haas and Ty Washington, and you throw one pass to Washington and he got hurt, I don't know. I'm anxious to see what his situation is for the A&M game. But, I mean, Luke Haas, you got to get the ball to that guy. He's a weapon, and I don't know what's happening there.
Well, Sam starts the press conference in a little over 12 minutes. We'll let you go, Mike, and get set up for that. Always appreciate you hopping on with us on Mondays. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Mike.
Mike Irwin from Pig Trail Nation joining us Mondays on Halftime. Matt, I looked up Taylor Green's numbers on 3rd and long this year. He's completed 13 of 19 passes, on 3rd and 10 or longer. 13 of 19 for 263 yards. So that's an average of about 13 yards per completion on 3rd and 10 or longer, and nearly 70%. That's amazing.
Man, those are numbers. See if they're sustainable. But that tells you when he does focus up, when it gets time to it, that his cream rises to the top. So that's we'll see if we can keep those numbers going. I like it.
Yeah, I wonder if it is sustainable, but it's a defining characteristic of this team right now. We'll be back in a quick moment. Wrap up hour number 1 of Halftime on ESPN Arkansas and the Hit That Line Now app.
You trying to say Jesus Christ can't hit a curveball?
This is Halftime.
It's the test drive giveaway at Harry Robinson's Salisal Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salisal through Monday. Test drive any vehicle on the lot. Troy, it's hunting season. You're giving away some great prizes that are perfect for the outdoors.
Yes, they definitely are, Tommy. Get down here and see us. Go on a test drive. Your name gets entered. And, when we do these giveaways, typically there's 1, 2, maybe 3 winners. Guys, there's going to be almost 10 winners of these prizes. So come down here and see us. Go on a test drive. You're talking about crossbows, compound bows, deer stands, deer feeders, call packs. We're giving away 2 Ulta gift cards. So come down here to Harry Robinson Salisal Ford. This is where you're going to find your best deal on your new vehicle purchase and pre-owned, and also where you can just test drive a vehicle and get your name entered for one of these lucky giveaways.
It cost absolutely nothing.
It cost $0 to come drive one of these cars. Come down here and see us.
The test drive giveaway, Harry Robinson, Salisal Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
A dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite. White perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for everything football. From the preseason NFL to college kicking off, BetOnline has every stat, every matchup, and even live odds and spreads while the games are being played. Think you know your stuff? Try our winner-take-all $300,000 NFL Survivor Pool for the upcoming season. When the game is over, head over to our online casino and get in on a game of blackjack or poker or unwind with one of our over 150 slots games. Head to the website today and use promo code BELIEVE and get in on the action. Bet online. The game starts here.
Hey, ESPN 96.3 and hitthatline.com. Have you been to Swark Liquor? Trey Gentry and his team have a phenomenal spot. It's the first liquor stop in Arkansas for our Dallas and Texas fans traveling up to the hill. So if you're heading to Fayetteville, the lake, a cabin weekend, hunting, fishing, or any other activity you need your favorite drink, stop by Swark Liquor. And check out their apparel too. You'll want to wear it. Swark Liquor, 864 East Collin Ray Drive into Queen, Arkansas. Swark Liquor, we promise to keep them cold for you.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
A dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice.
This is the day of the expanding man. That shape is my shame, down where I used to stand. It seems like only yesterday I gazed through the glass and rambler, wild gambler, that's all in the past.
Welcome back into Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Studios. Crabtree RV Center in Alma, where we make your dreams come true.
Short segment at the top of the hour. We can probably squeeze in a phone call here from Nelson in Harrison. Morning, Nelson. Appreciate you
Hi.
calling today. How you doing?
Good morning, guys. I'm doing great. I'm telling you, a win is a win is a win, guys. And there's so much we can fix, but there's so much that is just, it's hopeful. You know, we haven't got to see our punt team out there, and to see that long snapper fly down the field and make form tackles twice, stop the guy dead in his tracks, and then whenever they miss him, to see Bell freaking smash that guy. I mean, it's like these guys are playing. they ain't, these guys are wanting to play. And this is the way I see it, guys. Taylor Green, Bobby Petrino does need to get in his ear and say, we're in field goal range. I don't care what you do. If you just go down, do not go 12 yards in the backfield when we're in field goal range. You can't do that. We're going to lose games because of that one. But, man, I'm ready for next weekend. I'm ready for A&M. We're going to have Taylor Green, Jaquindon Jackson, Armstrong, all from the Texas area, Brownsville around there. So they're going to be jacked. And it's going to be – A&M better not take us lightly because we're starting to come together. Thanks, guys.
You got it. Yeah, and if last week was, I wouldn't call it redemption week because it's not like Auburn did anything bad to Travis Williams, but they kind of felt like the defense really played for their defensive coordinator. This can be Bobby Petrino redemption against Texas A&M week. By the way, Jimbo Fisher is speaking at the Little Rock Touchdown Club today. The Micro Machines guy maybe be the only time he speaks publicly, but somebody's got to ask him, why did you have Bobby Petrino use somebody else's terminology? But that's what this week can be about now, Matt.
You know what? Basil puts together a remarkable lineup. His timing is impeccable. Maybe I should work on my timing a little bit. But, man, Basil is he's got him going on down there at the Touchdown Club. You've made the point a couple times. Have we heard of Jimbo Fisher? Has he said anything since he's been let go? And then kind of be interested
when he
to
does
see.
Talk, it's really fast.
Well, you kind of be interested to see if, what he thinks. Yeah, you wonder if he's any – because you're a competitor, you just wonder, did he feel like he mishandled any? Obviously, he mishandled stuff, but or does he care because he got $100 million?
Maybe get a little report on what he thinks of the Aggies after their first 4 games, too. A couple of 3-1 teams going up against each other, a couple of 1-0 teams in the SEC. We move into hour number 2 of halftime. We got a lot of time for your calls and texts with no guests up until 1:15. 877-377-6963 is our hotline number, and we're back after the top of the hour break.
It's the test drive giveaway this weekend at Harry Robinson's Salisal Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off of I-40 in Salisal, now through Monday. Test drive any vehicle and you could win some great prizes just in time for hunting season.
Yes, you are 100% right, Tommy. We are so excited. I love doing these giveaways. We get a lot of customers in here. And, typically we give away 1, 2, maybe 3 items. Not this go around. We will have multiple winners. And, deer season's right around the corner. We're going to be giving away deer stands, crossbows. We're going to be giving away compound bow, deer feeders, some call packs. I mean, guys, come down here and see us. And we didn't forget about the ladies. We got 2 gift cards to Alta over in Fort Smith. So come down here and see us. Go on a test drive. All you have to do, test drive a vehicle. Your name gets entered. Be here on Monday, and we'll see who the lucky winners are.
All right, it's the test drive giveaway this weekend at Harry Robinson's Salisal Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off of I-40 in Salisal. And look online at harryrobinson.com.
People wonder all the time, where do I get my suits for all the weddings I go to? Rainwater's Men's Clothing and Tuxedo Rental. Rainwater's has dressed me from head to toe. So if you're renting or buying, your #1 men's clothing shop is Rainwater's. Experience the Rainwater's difference for yourself at 9700 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith or online at rainwater-s.com. When you stop by, make sure to tell Gail and his staff that Ty sent you. Rainwater's Men's Clothing and Tuxedo Rental, because it's fun to look good.
Every morning in hardworking America, Hardee's biscuit makers rise to bake you Hardee's original made-from-scratch buttermilk biscuits. Famous since 1977 and still baked fresh every 15 minutes. It's not the easy way, but it's the only way to make Hardee's breakfast so good. Like our mix-and-match handcrafted breakfast biscuits. Select items now 2 for $5. Hardee's, goodness in the making. Tax not included. Price and participation may vary.
Hi, I'm Kelly Smith, owner of Dixie Digital Imaging. Are you in the market for a new office printer or multifunction device? Look no further. At Dixie Digital Imaging, we bring a legacy of experience and a rock-solid reputation. Our state-of-the-art solutions are tailored to meet your business needs seamlessly. Why settle for anything less? Call us now at 479-783-6600 to get a quote on your next office printer or multifunction device. Elevate your office efficiency with Dixie Digital Imaging, where experience and reputation meet excellence. That's Dixie Digital Imaging, bringing document innovations to the River Valley.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, occasional showers and thunderstorms, especially across the north, where you may see the potential for some heavier rainfall. Temperatures in the mid-70s north, mid-80s south. Chance of scattered rain and thunder tonight. Overnight lows will drop down into the low 60s, and then increasing sunshine. Highs in the mid-70s north, low 80s south on Tuesday. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Shamrock Liquor Warehouse, 5609 Midland Boulevard, your leader in fine wines, beers, and spirits. KERX Paris Fort Smith. This is Halftime, coming at you from the Crabtree RV Studios on ESPN 95.3. Coming to you live from the Crabtree RV Center Studios. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that doesn't respect it. If I'm all right. Why can't they dominate? And we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Yeah. Take it to the house.
Both said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's Halftime with Bill Olson and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. What's my heart, dog? Let's go, man.
I have zero respect for saying no moss at halftime.
Even one Razorback. It's vintage Matt Jones. Here we go. Right now, let's go to the field.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olson and Matt Jones.
Back on Halftime on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com. Phil Elson, Matt Jones, Christian Johnston producing. No guests, you and us over the next, well, really not just the next 60 minutes because we don't have anybody until 1:15. 877-377-6963 in order to get with us. Sam Pittman speaking now. Hugh Freeze had his press conference about an hour ago. Talking about Auburn's offensive identity, quote, exactly what we're doing. I think we're good at it. Other than 10 turnovers in 2 games, we've got good receivers. We're running the ball well. I don't know why we'd want to change any of that, unquote. But they don't have any idea who they're going to have a quarterback any longer moving forward. I thought they had Peyton Thorne looked like he knew what he was doing a little more than Brown. Brown showed some signs, but you could also see that was a freshman that had not played an SEC game yet.
Number 5 for Auburn could play for any team in the country. That receiver's good. I know that. Number 5, we couldn't stop him. They just couldn't get the ball to him.
Lambert Smith.
Yeah, I like that dude. He's I don't know what year he is, but he was tough. I like our guy though. I'm not saying I like Armstrong, but number 5, Auburn has talent, man. They had a couple of D linemen that you're like, yeah, that dude. I mean, he looks the part. What an SEC defensive line. I mean, they had talent up and down the field. They they threw that one interception going in to score early, and then he, like you said, Phil, he was on like the 4, just falling forward. He's on the 1, if he just keeps the ball and falls forward with his momentum. But that was going to be another touchdown, and we were able to stop him. So yeah, you can't beat anybody with 10 turnovers in 3 games.
I saw Jaden Johnson try to do the same thing that Metcalf did in the UAB game, where he's going after the ball, and it's obvious that the guy's about to go in and score. You're trying to strip him of the ball, so you kind of cut across him, try to make him change directions and get a certain angle at the ball. And it didn't really look like TJ hit the ball all that hard. He just hit it at the right spot, knocked it out, and next thing you know, it's bouncing around to the end zone, and the Hogs get it at the 25. Biggest play of the game, that and the Satania bomb on 3rd and 19.
Yeah, because we were going nowhere on that play, and that what was that play Trey Knox had? It might have even been against South Carolina that he had the ball and then he just handed it to the D-back. That was kind of fluky. Right. It was just kind of, he barely, like you said, he didn't really get a lot of ball, but he flashed across his face and did enough to jar it out.
Well, I think Auburn's identity on offense is turnovers right now. Yeah, some good skill players, quarterbacks that have trouble throwing it to the right jersey, and it's not just that. They've had trouble with fumbles too, so that's their identity. And the Arkansas identity offensively, Matt, is go ahead and blitz us on 3rd down and long. Go ahead, please. Got the kind of quarterback who seems pretty comfortable in those situations. It's interesting too because post-game, Jaquindon Jackson talked about Green being a little bit jittery and a little bit nervous, and he's got to tell him to calm down a little bit. But when it comes to 3rd down, and I know he's looking at the rush, and I know that it isn't all, like perfect in his mechanics and the way he's doing it, but there's maybe his pulse is a little bit quick before the snap, and when he's looking at the rush coming in, but once he's out on the run, his decisions are terrific, and his accuracy is better too. I mean, he just looks like he has a better sense of where it's going when he's on the run than when he's in the pocket. So, and I understand you got to have passes in the pocket too, but I feel better when he's out on the run.
He's going to continue to get better. What's not to like? I mean, yeah, you can't keep turning the ball over. That's what's not to like so far. You want to have a little better pocket presence, but you're getting some free runners when it's 3rd and a passing down. When they're bringing a pressure, man, we're not even getting a hand. It was 3 or 4 times. So yeah, that makes you kind of look, scan across, and you'd like to pick that up with your protection. If it's, hey, move a running back, you don't know who's missing it. You don't know everything's not on the quarterback. A lot of it is on the quarterback, but it's, the linemen, the receivers, your running back, however you're moving the protection. But he's going to continue to get better. I mean, he's in the meeting room with Bobby Petrino each week, and it's going to be fun to see his maturation process and how he grows the rest of the year and even next year.
Let's take a phone call from Eduardo here up first, 877-377-6963. Hello, Eduardo. How are you?
Man, I'm doing great. As you already know, I'm still walking on sunshine. I'm so happy for Coach Pittman. I'm so happy for the players in this team, all the coaches, for the tenacity they showed Saturday at Jordan Hare Stadium in front of a sold-out capacity Tiger Den.
I mean, I know it's cool to watch him drop kick a guy in the open field, but Matt, have you ever tried that, by the way, Matt? What Talon did the other day? Ran up
The
there,
Mortal Kombat move?
Yeah, it looked like he was drop kicking the cat, and then he took a flip down there by the goal line. You know, listen, he's a great athlete, and he's all, I just hate seeing those hits because I worry. Now, on that one play where Jaquindon picked that guy up and superplexed him, was that a hold? I don't know. I thought he kept his hands inside right there. That was close on that one. Man, I'm so happy for T. Will, though. That was really cool after the game, seeing that. I'm telling you right now, a future special head coach coming in T. Will wherever he goes. And Phil, congratulations on your Steelers being 3-0, man. They're playing some really good ball. They're doing a hell of a job. Physical, and they're not turning it over. And that's, you know, whenever Wilson gets healthy, you know, he's got to sit over there and watch right now because until Fields starts turning it over, they're going to be in ball games. Anyways, y'all have a good one.
Charlie, appreciate that. Thanks very much. 877-377-6963 if you want to get with us on halftime for the call or a text. Got to win this one on Saturday now, Matt. That's the next thing I look at. You know, they win an ugly game against an Auburn team that obviously I think they get some issues to hammer out. Offensively more than anything, because it did look to me like they got a defense that if you can get to the quarterback, then they might have a little bit of success. Aggies, too. I mean, 6 interceptions thrown by their quarterbacks, whether it's been the veteran Connor Wagman or the freshman Marcel Reed, who's my anticipation is that you see Reed, who's really a dual threat. And then you get another freshman quarterback coming in with Iyamaleava, although that's a different situation because Tennessee right now looks like world beaters, and they have potentially the best defense in the country. So, you know, it does get a little bit tougher as the weeks go on. It really starts to get a lot tougher after this next week. I know A&M is ranked, but I feel a lot differently about the Aggies than I do about Tennessee or I don't know, maybe, I mean, LSU, did you see Harold Perkins is out for the year with a knee injury? So, and they've already had some issues defensively, had another kind of uneven performance against UCLA. So that right now looks like your best chance to pick off one of the real contenders in your home stadium. But I think you got to beat A&M. At that point, you're 4-1. If you're 4-1, 2-0 in the SEC, you know, then you can start talking about maybe we upset one team here, one team there. You're going to have one of those crazy special seasons nobody coming along thought. But I think in order to get there, you got to beat the Aggies.
Big week. Yep, Texas A&M week. It's on to the next. Get in the ice tub. Go watch film. Make corrections. Start game planning. A&M's going to be physical. Just they're A&M. Let's just say it how it is. At every position, A&M's better than Auburn. So it's going to be they have more talent. They haven't figured it out yet. They're slow start for whatever reason. But yeah, it's going to be another, you know, hit you in the mouth type of game, especially when you have freshman quarterbacks. The running back is the best friend.
877-377-6963. If there's anything you want to hit on Arkansas football, we'll get to 3 Up, 3 Down in just a moment. Celebrating autumn right now in the natural state at Crabtree RV Center in Alma. Getting their RVs ready for the big fall sale beginning October the 10th. Lasts through October the 13th. They'll have special deals on RVs, trailers. Door prizes also available when you walk in. Their experienced, knowledgeable staff will be on hand, help you find the perfect RV or trailer for your family's adventures. That's at Crabtree RV Center. Big fall sale, October 10th through October 13th. More information online at crabtreerv.com. Back with more halftime right after this break.
This is halftime. Your home for every Razorback football game.
College to midfield, to 40, to 30, to
College at the 20, to the 10, to the 5, to the pylon. Touchdown, Arkansas!
As you can tell, this means a lot,
Only on ESPN 95.3.
It's the test drive giveaway this weekend at Harry Robinson's Salisal Ford. You can win a series of great prizes just for taking a test drive this weekend at Harry Robinson, including test driving one of the brand new Fords that are on the lot.
Yes, and Tommy, we are so excited for this test drive giveaway. We love doing this, giving back a little bit to the community and just, customers being able to win some of these really cool prizes, So come down here and see us. Like you said, driving one of these new Fords. Tommy, this is the biggest selection of new Fords that we have ever had at this store. I mean, they keep delivering new Fords. We can't get the trucks to stop pulling in here.
Plus, they've got great incentives, great financing rates right now, and great rebates from Ford.
Yes, definitely. We've got rebates on pretty much every single new vehicle out there. And obviously, we want to give you that Harry Robinson discount too. So if you're in the market for a new Ford, you got to get to Harry Robinson Salisal Ford for our test drive giveaway.
It's all going on this weekend. Harry Robinson Salisal Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off of I-40 in Salisal.
Patriot Transport wants to thank their drivers for their hard work and dedication. The local and over-the-road drivers are essential to the Patriot Transport mission. Day in and day out, Patriot Transport drivers are on the road striving for safety and success. To the behind-the-scenes dispatch and office employees, Patriot Transport thanks them as well for the hard work they put in day and night. If you want to be a part of the Patriot Transport family, visit patriottransport.com. Patriot Transport is located in Danville, Arkansas.
If you are involved in a divorce or custody case, you want an attorney you can trust to guide you through the process. The attorneys at Hickey and Hole Law Partners have over 7 decades of combined experience. Hickey and Hole have seen and heard nearly every scenario you can imagine, ready to put that experience to work for you to get the best results. Visit kevinhickeylaw.com or give them a call today, 479-434-2414. Hickey and Hole Law Partners. Things are about to get better.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
Hey, Wix. Billy, K is for horses. Are my ears that long?
Oh, you got me again. I'm going to order a large Boss Hog pizza for fishing tomorrow.
That's a lot of food. You taking a friend?
No, sir. I'm going to use it as bait.
Pizza as bait for fishing?
Yes'm. The catfish love 'em, some Jim's Razorback pizza.
They do?
Yes'm. They chase the bacon faster than green grass through a goose.
Bacon? Never would have thunk it.
Yup. And they come right to the river's edge when I call them, too. Woo! Fish suey!
Oh, blessed Billy. All right, son. Have fun fishing.
Jim's Razorback Pizza. Blessed to serve you. Eat Jim's RazorbackPizza.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
I ain't happy. I'm feeling glad I got sunshine in a bag. I'm useless, but not for long. The future is coming on. I ain't happy. I'm feeling glad I got sunshine in a bag. I'm useless, but not for long. The future is coming on. It's coming on. It's coming. It's coming on. It's
Finally, someone let me out of my cage. Now, time for me is nothing cause I'm counting no A's. Now, I
couldn't be there. Now you shouldn't be scared. I'm good at repair, and I'm under each snare, intangible. Bet you didn't think, so I command you to. Panoramic view. Look, I'll make it all manageable. Pick and choose, sit and lose. All you different crews, chicks and dudes, who you think is really kicking tunes. Picture you getting down in a picture tube, like you lit the fuse. You think it's fictional, mystical, maybe spiritual. Hero who appears in you to clear your view when you're too crazy. Lifeless to know the definition for what life is. Priceless to you because I put you on the hype shit and like it. Gun smoke, you righteous with one token. Psychic among no possess you with one go.
Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine. Call or text 877-377-6963. Now back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Telling you, Arkansas handles business this Saturday. You may end up with game day at Razorback Stadium. They announced that the Tennessee kickoff is going to be a nighttime kickoff. Will either be 6:30 or 7 o'clock, either ESPN or ABC. If Arkansas goes into that game 4-1 and Tennessee is 5-0, well, 4-0 because they're off this week, you'll get game day at Razorback Stadium. There aren't other games that really stand out.
Missouri A&M.
Concerned. That would be it, but I think that would take A&M winning that game.
Ole Miss, South Carolina. Yeah, you're looking at there's not a lot of Auburn, Georgia, Oregon. Yeah, I think you're right, Phil. I mean, unless there's a big time, South Dakota State, North Dakota State, when, they go to a D2 school all the time.
Well, I do know that this Saturday, and I don't know when he'll come back, but Rashad Dubinion is suspended indefinitely from the Arkansas football team. Sam Pittman announced that during his press conference, which is still ongoing. We hadn't seen him in a couple of games.
Something's not right. There's because he's talented.
Obviously,
Phil. He's talented, just as talented as Braylon Russell or Rodney Hill, and nothing to say. He's just as something's not vibing right.
Did he get any carries after the UAPB game?
I have not seen him even.
Dominion's only had 3 carries. That's it.
Yeah.
What's that?
I haven't seen him. I haven't seen him be thought of, and I haven't seen him out there.
Well, Russell's been out there a lot earlier. They got Russell a few carries against Auburn and Rodney Hill too. So, down Rashad Dubinion for the time being, and we don't know when it is that he'll make it back. So. There you go. A little bit down in the running back room as far as that's concerned. And Sam did say hoping to get either Jalen Braxton or Hudson Clark back for the Texas A&M game. Clark's been backing up T.J. Metcalf.
Not anymore.
Right now, I want.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if I want T.J. off the field any longer.
TJ's
on there as much as you possibly can.
Man, talk about a ball hawk. It's I think of another guy, Harold Perkins, that you brought up, earlier. That game he had against Arkansas, how he kind of won that game for them. It was a 1-score game, but he made the most plays out of everybody. Whenever it mattered, and that's what Metcalf did. When it mattered, got down to it, man. He made plays. It was fun to watch. I was texting a buddy. And it was like number 18 again, number 18. I mean, it was pretty cool to watch.
Just wild to think about a defender, no matter where it is that you're playing, to get your hand on the ball 5 times. And not just to get your hand on the ball, but 4 of those instances equaled getting the ball back for your team. 1 deflected pass, another deflected pass that Slaughter intercepted, 2 interceptions of his own, and the forced fumble. I mean, that's just... I know you don't get credit for the turnover when you just force the fumble, but it's like almost like a half sack in a sense.
Well,
it's like I'm thinking about the last time an Arkansas member of the secondary had a game like that. I think it would have been Hudson Clark against Mississippi State. He had 3 interceptions in the 2020 season as a freshman. Been a while.
The other thing I'll say is Landon Jackson was so close to getting a sack there, just kind of overran it a little bit. The quarterback did a good job of being strong and standing up in the pocket, but I thought Landon Jackson played well. It's not, he didn't get his sack yet, but as far as that numbers that don't show up, just kind of like Metcalf not getting credit for some of that stuff. It's like Landon Jackson still, man, he's still that dude. He just hadn't got him one yet, but I thought he had him one.
Nelson and Harrison a couple of segments ago brought up Ashton No. Everybody had to have noticed number 30 snapping the ball to Devin Bale and then just streaking down the field, being the first guy there, and 2 tackles on special teams for your – that was another aspect. Like Auburn creamed Arkansas in special teams last year, and in this time around, yeah, he had the missed field goal, but incredible coverage downfield. They had no room to work whatsoever, and it was the guys that did it. I think Sam even referred to it in the post-game talk about why Ashton No took over all the long snapping duties and instead of just half of them. And it's like you don't talk about the long snapper too much, but Matt, how often does a long snapper actually make 2 tackles? And then the punter, Bale, who's doing kickoffs, had a tackle of his own, which made me wonder if something happened on that tackle, because I think Shipley handled the next kickoff or 2. But when your long snapper and your punter make 3 special teams tackles, that's buying in. That's huge buy-in. And for all the criticism that went to Scott Fountain for special teams against Oklahoma State, his unit deserves a lot of attaboys for the way they performed against Auburn.
Yeah, those are kind of and ones. You teach your kicker and your punter and your long snapper. You kind of go through it, but you don't really expect them to tally up a lot of tackles. So that's bonus. That's bonus spins.
So if you missed it, TJ Metcalf is the SEC Defensive Player of the Week, but it was Travis Williams that got the game ball, though, Matt. And I hadn't realized that Pittman said he doesn't usually, or I guess he hadn't ever given away a game ball before.
Well,
but in this case, he found the right time and the right person to give one to.
Well, it's kind of like Friday when he's like, hey, that bike I've been talking to you about? It's like it's both of ours, but we'll keep it at my house. That's Metcalf's game ball, but they're going to keep it at Travis Williamson's house.
Sounds about right. I know it felt really good for Travis. Going back to where he was an all-SEC linebacker, back to where he led a team in tackles after going undefeated, and it isn't one of those situations like Heupel returning to Oklahoma this past weekend where he was fired by the guy who had coached him, and there's all these hard feelings left behind. Quite a bit different. I don't know if you saw, though, there was about a 1.5-minute long video clip on Heupel congratulating his team in the locker room after that win, and then he pauses and he says, "This wasn't about me," but you can also see when he says that, and he pauses and he's fighting back, getting choked up at that moment because it was obvious those guys played for him. They played for him, and I had a sense that the defense played for Travis Williams as well. And Matt, I felt that last year up until the last 2 games. They played hard. They played really hard. And I think if you it's kind of crazy to think about it because this is still an offense that has its warts and has a lot of room to grow. I think you put this offense on last year's team, you probably have a lot. I'm not saying a lot more than 4 wins, but you got more than 4 wins. That's for sure.
Well, you got better at the quarterback position, at the running back position, and you had your returning receiver come back. So, yeah, I think our guys calling the shots are a little bit better. As far as Tennessee goes, I watched that game, and, man, I tell you, I don't want any part of Tennessee. That's a real football team in every sense of the word, man. Defense, offense, big plays, speed, size, strength. I mean, they don't have a lot of weaknesses, man. They made Oklahoma like it, and Oklahoma's a good team. Oklahoma's better than Auburn, better than A&M. Tennessee, they were on one because that team right there, they look like they can compete with anybody. They look like a playoff 12. That was a playoff 12 moment right there. You watch that game, you're like, that team belongs in the playoffs.
And, I mean, once you get into October, Matt, everything as far as quality of opponent changes, like outside of Mississippi State and Louisiana Tech. After that, you're playing the big boys. You're playing the teams that are coming into this season not hoping, expecting to get to the college football playoff. Hey, if you're craving something sweet and delicious during a football game, get on over to Andy's Frozen Custard. They have locations all across our listening audience. They're in Fort Smith. They're in Conway. They're in North Little Rock, East Oak Street, Dave Ward Drive in Conway. in Fort Smith as well, and JFK Boulevard in North Little Rock. They'll have you covered with the greatest frozen treats around, including the Pick Six. Mix and match 6 of your favorite flavors for the perfect game time treat. That's at Andy's Frozen Custard, Rogers Avenue, Fort Smith, Conway 2 locations, and JFK Boulevard in North Little Rock. They're ready to serve you, walk up or drive through. Calls and texts on halftime, 877-377-6963. We'll be back in just a moment.
Oh, come on, guys. It's so simple. Maybe you need a refresher course. It's all ball bearings nowadays.
This is halftime. You can now download our new app in the iTunes or Google Play Store. Listen anytime and anywhere on your favorite mobile device. Just search Hit That Line now.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
There's big news in the mobile sports betting business. Bet Saracen was just named the 15th largest sports book in America. That's because Arkansans like to do business with a winner. Find all your winners on Bet Saracen. Download it today and look for my RR prop bet specials. I pick them, you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
Now your ideas don't have to wait. Now they have everything they need to come to life. Dell Technologies and Intel are creating technology that loves ideas, loves expanding your business, evolving your passions. We push what technology can do, so great ideas can happen right now. Find out how to bring your ideas to life at Dell.com. Welcome to Now.
This is halftime.
It's the test drive giveaway this weekend at Harry Robinson's Salisaw Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off of I-40 in Salisaw. Test drive any vehicle on the lot, and you're entered automatically to win some great prizes just in time for hunting season, crossbows, deer stands, game calls. It's a great package that they've got for you. And you've got a great selection of pre-owned vehicles right now on the lot.
Yes, we definitely do. You know, I've actually bought over 20 units in the last 7 days to prepare for this sale that we've got going on. So come down here and see us at Harry Robinson Salisaw Ford. You're not going to find a better deal anywhere else. Up there on the sign, it says our prices will not be beat. So come down here and see us. And it's the test drive giveaway. Guys, all you have to do is come test drive a vehicle and your name gets entered and you can be one of the lucky winners.
You got till Monday at close to get in on the great deals during the test drive giveaway at Harry Robinson's Salisaw Ford. 1 mile south of exit 308 off of I-40 in Salisaw, and always online at harryrobinson.com.
The Wave Rural Connect Shoal Creek Zone is open. Fast fiber internet, TV, and home phone available. This covers Midway, New Blaine, Scranton, Delaware, and other areas. Even if this isn't your zone, check your address. We might be available for you. Get your whole home solution. Internet, TV, and phone from a local provider. Go to signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
At Our Best Bank, we believe in the power of community. That's why we recognize, serve, and support communities of all kinds. From small towns to big cities, business startups to large companies, young families to seniors, and those with shared backgrounds and interests. We value your contributions and are proud to work alongside you because every community deserves a financial partner who cares. Our Best Bank. We believe.
Why do people love Shamrock Liquor Warehouse? Simple. They've got it all. 70 years in business, 15,000 square feet of choices. They buy in volume so you can save. What else? How about the largest selection of everything? Shamrock's got it. Special orders? Shamrock's got it. Convenient drive-through, open 6 days a week? Shamrock's got it. Need a keg for your party? Shamrock's got it. Load up at Shamrock Liquor Warehouse at the corner of Midland and Riverfront Drive in Fort Smith.
The best things in life never change. They just get better, like Hardee's Original Bag, just $6.99. Loaded with fries, a drink, and 2 full-size favorites. A juicy charbroiled double cheeseburger, melty hot ham and cheese sandwich, or crispy hand-breaded chicken tender wrap. Choose any 2 plus fries and a drink, all only $6.99. Hardee's Original Bag, loaded with handcrafted goodness. It's the greatest meal deal for your buck. Available for a limited time at participating restaurants.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
love me. Now, baby, I'm sure. And I just can't wait till the day when you knock on my door. And every time I go for the mail, I just gotta hold myself down. Just can't wait till you ride me, you're coming around. Walking on sunshine, walking on sunshine.
Welcome back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Got a question or comment for the guys? Call or text 877-377-6963. Let's get back to the show with the voice of Arkansas Razorback baseball, Phil Elson, and Razorback football legend Matt Jones.
I think I gave out bad info on the A&M quarterback. They've intercepted the opponent 6 times. They've only thrown 2 interceptions themselves. So A&M a little bit better as far as turnovers than Auburn was, +3 in terms of the turnover margin, 6-4 and 3 against. Even with a 5-2 edge in turnovers this past weekend, Matt, the Hogs are +1, 7-4, 6 against. And so now facing a team that's got 6 interceptions and Taylor Green, yeah, I mean, there's a couple of you got. Sometimes you throw it up for grabs. It's what I felt like the Satania pass was. Roll left, see a guy open down the middle of the field. Our vantage point in the radio booth was pretty much the same, just not on the field. We were back in the corner of the end zone. You could see that ball up in the air. You could see Satania have to wait on it a moment, make a play over the defensive back. So, A&M may have some playmakers, too, coming up this Saturday for Arkansas and Texas A&M, which I'm assuming and hoping will be the last time that they play this series at Jerry World, which means next year you'll get them in Fayetteville and actually have, let's see, there'll be only one neutral site game next year, and it won't be neutral site. It'll be in Little Rock against Arkansas State. Very good. Maybe at some point soon, you won't have one of these crazy starts to the season like last year and this year. And maybe, and this is another thing to wonder about with Auburn, Matt. Like, they're 2-2. They get Auburn at home tomorrow or Saturday. That's 5 home games. And they'll have to go on the road for all but 3 games left. They go to Athens. They go to Mizzou, Kentucky, and they go to Alabama for the Iron Bowl. So that's their first 5 games at home. They very well could be looking at 2-3 in those 5 games.
Whatever the proverbial hot seat is, Hugh Freeze is on it. I'm telling you, they go. Auburn goes 0-8. That Auburn doesn't go 0-8. Auburn goes 0-8 in conference play. He's out of here. So there's a disconnect going there as well. 1-7, maybe he's gone. But you're looking at that schedule. And you're right. I didn't know that. I didn't know they had their first 5 games at home, and the way they performed. Only putting up 7 points against Cal, putting up 14 points against the Hog. And like, man, what are you doing there at Auburn?
I think a lot of folks were expecting
Vanderbilt comes in and beats them. He's gone. If Vanderbilt comes in and beats them, they
expected Auburn to be 4-0.
Absolutely. Yeah, I expected them to be 4-0. I mean, or 3-0, but before Arkansas got in, that's what you would have expected. But if Vanderbilt beats them, they go Oklahoma, Georgia. That's an LL bye week. Missouri, Kentucky, Vanderbilt to finish that little 3-game. If Vanderbilt, he's gone. That's a bye week coming up. I don't know. He might be the first one to go.
Wouldn't that be fun? Then we go through that whole thing all over again and realize, hey, wait a minute, maybe it wasn't the idea of just having a coach doesn't fit into the culture of being here at Auburn and Brian Harsin. Maybe you just made another bad hire. And I didn't think it's a bad hire, truthfully. I didn't think Freeze was a bad hire. It's just not necessarily working out in year 2 yet.
And then Travis Williams gets a phone call. So then he might be there a little sooner than we all thought.
Yeah, I wondered about that.
You got to keep
go in that direction.
You're trying to keep. I think you might get one more year out of Travis Williams as your DC. but that might be it. You know, I was thinking 2028 before the season started, and each time his defense goes out and puts a show on like that in the SEC, if they do, his phone's probably already lighting up.
877-377-6963 if you want to light up our phone here on halftime. You know, the guy said he had a great defensive plan for Auburn. What did you think of the plan defensively? They did move the ball against them. It's just, hey, all you got to do is get the ball back somehow. Whether you get it back via punt, whether you get it back via fumble or interception, and they got the ball back a lot.
What I look for is getting off the field on third down. What I look for is how are we tackling? Are we able to gang tackle? You know, how's our pursuit? What's our chunk plays like? How many chunk plays are we giving up? In all those things we were doing well, you know, and the turnovers are a bonus because, I mean, getting 5 turnovers in a game, looking at the rest of the schedule, I don't know if that'll happen again. It'd be cool if it does. But yeah, there's certain things you look for when you're watching the game, and one is how we tackle and how we limit explosive plays, and the bend don't break. What you're talking about goes in there as well, and you can't. I think it's an A+. I think it's our best defensive performance of the year, and you can say, well, look who we're playing, first time starting quarterback, another guy, the teams, whatever you want to say. Auburn has talent, and that's a real football team. A+. That's his best defensive. That's the best performance of the best defensive performance of the team so far.
Keith in Fort Smith, you're first up with us here. Keith, how you doing?
It's an honor to be with you guys after beating Auburn, having Hugh Freeze have all kinds of self-doubt, identity issues, all the things he's going through. Auburn fans think they're better than us. Got a big piece of the L this weekend. It's also an honor to be with Don Slims, a.k.a. Tall Drink of Water, and Uncle Phil today. Let me say this as we go into Aggie Week. This one's a big one, guys. I know y'all know that. I talked last week after the UAB game about not having a killer instinct. I talked about how this team did not have right now in the OK State weeks, what I'm talking about, that, and then if we saw it again, this on again, off again. And I know we played sloppy, so before everybody cuts me up, we played sloppy. But I'm proud of our guys for coming out there, playing tough, staying with it. Talon gets sit down, whether it was cramps or not, who knows, comes out there, does a good job, finds a way to win. That's what I was most impressed with. I didn't see the special teams calamity that we had, I think, the last 2 weeks, but definitely OK State. We come out now, I feel really good about playing an Aggie team that has no identity. At least we know our defense will go toe-to-toe with you. Now, Auburn played sloppy, worse than we did at times. We matched them at times, but I'm going to tell you, I like our chances against going up against the Aggie Colt Saturday because I think we got them in a place where they were limping out of that game in Kyle Field. All I want to say to conclude is this. Never been a better time to be a Hog fan. Never been a better time to unite around our team. And as much as sometimes I think we ain't got it going, leaving the Plains with a win felt really good on Saturday. Thank you, guys.
Appreciate that, Keith. And I felt you saw a little bit of a killer instinct. 12 plays, 75 yards in a little over 6 minutes in the last almost 10 minutes of the game to get up by 10. I thought that is a bit of a killer instinct. That's putting a game away. And that's something that Arkansas struggled to do until later against UAB. Mike in Russellville next up. Mike, how you doing?
Hey, I'm doing great, guys. I'm just jumping on, so I don't know if this has been covered or not. But Saturday's game, I was actually a little frustrated with a few things. But you're playing in Jordan-Hare, one of the toughest places to play. You're playing a really outstanding defensive line. We gained almost 200 yards on offense. And what concerns me is picking up the blitz. Our right side looked like Braun several times just whiffed or missed or looked in while the one running on one side of the other. I don't know, but we've got to do better on blitz, picking up blitz coverage. And, defensively, what a hell of a game. I mean, we had 2 series. We gave up the 4th and 3. May have been in zero coverage. I'm not sure, Matt. You may have noticed, but there wasn't a safety there, and our kid tries to make a play on the ball, and of course he scores. And then another series, we gave up 2 consecutive 3rd and longs, which was kind of disappointing. That's 2 series in the whole game. I was really encouraged with the way we played, and I think this coming Saturday is going to be the same way. I'm going to hang up and listen.
All right, Mike, thanks a lot. Matt, are you going to I think when we start studying up on Texas A&M, I think it's a team that you're probably not going to be able to beat the same way. You're not going to get 5 turnovers this next week. At least that's my estimation. And I do wonder if the game plan changes defensively against Arkansas based upon what A&M's coaching staff sees with the Arkansas-Auburn matchup. Like blitzing Taylon Green, I think puts Arkansas in an advantage at times. He's right about the pass blocking on the right side. You can see that sometimes. Braun's missed a few times. Blackstock was in the wrong position a couple of times. But they rarely got to Taylon. That's the thing. He's so elusive. When the play breaks down, that automatically, to me, feels like advantage Arkansas. So I wonder if they'll just try to find a way to contain Green, keep him behind the line of scrimmage, and, maybe only bring 3 or 4 instead of 5 or 6.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you got to mix it up, I think, is what you have to do. You can't be so predictable. It felt like it felt like if you're watching the game, you kind of knew what Auburn was going to do on those plays. You knew they were going to bring somebody, and he made a play. So, yeah, you want to make him dissect you because that seems like that's maybe something that he's, struggles with a little bit. It's not that he can't do it. But, yeah, if he sits in the pocket too, he's going to start feeling more comfortable. So he'll be able to sit there, and you'll see if he goes 1 to 2 to 3, does he continue to stay in the pocket and look, or does he drop the ball and ready to run? So that'd be another thing, because then they got us. If he goes 1 to 2 to 3 real quick and they drop back in that zone like that, and then he's ready to run, if he's not keeping his eyes downfield or looking, then it'd be advantage to him. So you want to mix it up on him a little bit.
I mean, you realize how close this team is to being 2-0 on the road in 2 really difficult places to win a game. I mean, should have won that game in Stillwater. Absolutely should have won that game. You've already beaten Auburn. Starkville and Columbia, Missouri are the other 2 places you're playing. You're going to have to win the game in Starkville. Like, that turns into another, like the A&M game. I feel like these are must-win games if you're going to get to where you hope to get, which is you could throw it up against the idea of accepting mediocrity or whatever, but first you get to 6, then you worry about 7, then you worry about 8. And, you're probably not getting to 7, certainly not 8 without a win over A&M, and then probably a win over Mississippi State. And then you're going to need one against Missouri or one of the teams that's right now in the top 5. 877-377-6963 to get with us on halftime. Back in just a moment. We'll wrap up hour number 2 after this break.
This is halftime.
At the toe, it's got a big Jelco for hard work and the great outdoors.
With quality, price, and comfort you like, the savings that you're looking for.
We've got the shoes and boots, steel toes too, outerwear, and a whole lot more.
Head to toe, it's got a big Jelco
for hard work and the great outdoors.
Back at Harry Robinson's Salisaw Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off of I-40 in Salisaw. You can't beat the selection, you can't beat the prices, and you can't beat the deal just from test driving a vehicle. You get entered into a drawing for great prices just in time for hunting season. You can't beat a Ford, the #1 truck on the road for more than 45 years.
Yeah, over 45 years. And, Tommy, we're super excited here at Harry Robinson. All the employees get really excited when we do these test drive giveaways. You don't have to do anything to enter other than test drive a vehicle. Your name gets entered. And, you always hear these giveaways, and they only give away one thing, right? We are going to have multiple winners. We've got crossbows. We've got compound bows, deer stands, deer feed, feeders, call packs. I mean, come down here and see us. I promise you our deals will not be, this is where you want to buy your next vehicle, and just come down and test drive a vehicle and get your name entered for that giveaway.
The test drive giveaway going on now through Monday. Harry Robinson, Salisal Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off of I-40 in Salisal.
The Wave Rural Connect Shoal Creek Zone is open. Fast fiber internet, TV, and home phone available. This covers Midway, New Blaine, Scranton, Delaware, and other areas. Even if this isn't your zone, check your address. We might be available for you. Get your whole home solution. Internet, TV, and phone from a local provider. Go to signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Metal Mart offers high-quality prefabricated metal buildings, metal roofing, custom trim shop, carports, and more. They strive to be a company where contractors as well as do-it-yourselfers are welcome. Metal Mart assists you in calculating the materials needed to complete your project, all at a rate you can afford. Stop by 7320 Highway 271 South in Fort Smith or call 648-3342. You can also catch them online at metalmarts.com. Metal Mart, the right material for the right price.
You never know what you will walk up on or find over the hill at the Tackle Box. For almost 50 years, the Tackle Box has been your home for hunting and fishing supplies and some of the best outdoor stories. Whether guns, ammo, fishing supplies, or home decor, come back and see them again. They even buy your old fishing tackle or guns. The Tackle Box, your sports store for hunting, fishing, firearms, and more. 3001 0 Street, Fort Smith, 646-3193.
The adventure starts at the Tackle Box for sportsmen just like you.
Whether it's torque, horsepower, or just extreme work, diesel trucks do their job. But when your diesel truck needs maintenance or repair, it's time to head to Extreme Diesel. Everything from standard maintenance to extreme repairs, including injector testing. Extreme Diesel delivers. They have the tools and service for your Cummins, Duramax, or Power Stroke. You trust your truck to deliver on your needs, and you can trust your truck at Extreme Diesel. 6630 Alma Highway between Van Buren and Alma. Check them out on Facebook or give them a call at 651-3363. They're bilingual, now offering CP4 solutions for both Chevy and Ford.
Did your 6 weeks with your kids this summer fly by? Is your ex on another tropical vacation while you're working 2 jobs to pay your child support? I'm Jackie Mock with Mock Legal Solutions. Arkansas law on custody and child support has changed, and those changes could benefit you. So stop scrolling through her vacation pictures and protect your rights today. Call me at 479-769-1505. Mock Legal Solutions, real advice, reasonable price.
Your Honor, my son deserves this kid.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Young man, don't want no Captain Crunch, don't want no Raisin Bran. Well, don't you know that other kids are starving in Japan? So eat it, just eat it. Don't want to hear about the food you hate. You won't get no dessert till you clean up your plate. So eat it. Don't you tell me you're full, just eat it.
Welcome back into Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Studios. Crabtree RV Center in Alma, where we make your dreams come true.
No matter what happens today involving football, Arkansas Razorbacks, or anything going on in the world, nothing means more to me than the announcement of Bigger and Weirder 2025 tour. The one and only Weird Al Yankovic will be at the Walmart Amp August 3rd, 2025. That's a Sunday. Matt, I think I'm going to take August the 4th off next year. Is that okay? Or maybe you need to be there with me. I need Matt Jones at a Weird Al concert with me.
Man,
I'll pay for the ticket.
That would be extravagant. I don't know how else to put that in any other words.
Unexpected?
Yeah, that would be pretty cool.
I don't know how jazzed up you sound there. That maybe he's on your list of concerts. I wouldn't go.
I do not mind.
Wouldn't you just like to go to see the look on my face?
Hey, man, you were singing every single word with that song. I would not. I wouldn't mind a Weird Al. Like I don't have anything. I just don't know his music. I just never have seen a CD or seen a CD of his, but looked.
You got about 10 and a half months to start brushing up on.
There
it.
you go. Homework assignment for me.
Long.
Yeah.
That's right. That means, all right, Seaburger Movie Unit and C45, who are in our studios, you guys will be on the show, just the two of you, on August the 4th, which probably, think about it, probably coincides with the start of a football practice for 2025. So I don't know if that's viewed as like sweeps for television stations. Nobody's allowed to take any time off, but I'm already taking that time off. As far as I'm concerned, it could be Game 7 of the World Series the next day, and I'll take that day off. Weird Al at the Amp. I'm getting texts from friends saying, hey, did you know about this? Of course I knew about this before you even announced it. Yes, I felt it in my blood. There's only certain things in the world that that I can feel in my blood. When Weird Al is announcing a concert near where I live, that'd be one of them. He does though, Matt. I don't think he'll call it Rogers near Little Rock. I might have a better sense of the geography other than your girl Lana Del Rey.
Oh, Lana Del Rey. We need to play. We'll pick up a song of hers in this third hour coming up, man. She can get it with the Bullet Train. She's like, hey, we'll just get on that Bullet Train from Little Rock to Rogers. It's just a quick train ride.
I mean, yeah, that's how people have been doing it for years here. Somebody should have taken her on a ride on the pig trail, on those switchbacks. See if she's one of those people who can't handle her lunch in a car when you're driving on the pig trail or driving up to Gaston's, as I found out with my son the last 2 summers. Maybe the next thing would be don't buy Lana Del Rey chicken nuggets when you're driving on the pig trail. If they have an empty stomach, everything seems okay. 877-377-6963 to get with us here on Halftime. Joe wants a free ticket contest for the Vols game. Doesn't everybody now? Everyone's planning ahead for it now, Matt. Better get your tickets.
I don't know.
It's going to be a hot ticket when Arkansas is 4-1.
I don't know if I want to be there in person to see that massacre. I mean, that's going to be. I hope we're ready, because if we're gonna have to, we can't turn the ball over. We're gonna get beat by 20. Tennessee's a real that'd be the best team to date that's on our schedule. So we better let's worry about A&M first.
Yeah,
but
first things first. I don't know if we're giving away tickets to the Southwest Classic. I haven't heard about that yet, but maybe so. Hour number 3, quickly approaching halftime. We'll have Connor O'Gara from Saturday Down South looking around the rest of the SEC and see what's going on. Also get his thoughts on Arkansas versus Auburn. Matt and I still have our 3 up, 3 down to get to. If you want to call us, it's 877-377-6963. And halftime is back right after this.
It's a stunning way to go somewhere new in the 2024 Buick Encore GX from Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Right now, get up to $3,000 off and 0.9% financing for well-qualified buyers on the Buick Encore GX. The Encore GX is a boldly styled 5-person SUV that is ready to reward. Up to $3,000 off and 0.9% on the 2024 Buick Encore GX. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
This is Coke Zero Sugar. Could I be the best Coke ever? Try and taste with your ears. Hear those bubbles? Imagine them tingling on your tongue. Fizzy deliciousness. Listen to that cascading liquid. A mouth-watering waterfall. Irresistibly tasty. Zero sugar. Crisp, refreshing, and ice cold. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide.
Are you interested in saving money on your heating bills and upgrading your home's energy efficiency? Now's the time. Installing or upgrading to natural gas allows you to take advantage of high-efficiency appliances that save energy and money. From furnaces to water heaters to gas dryers and fireplaces, there's a natural gas option to fit your home and your budget. What's not to love about that? Don't wait. Call AOG today at 800-842-5690 or visit AOGC.com to learn more. AOG, energy for life.
Greatness doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, focus, and dedication. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that because we put in the hard work and dedication for decades. And that commitment is paid off with award-winning customer service for your auto, home, and life insurance.
See Agent Chris Dooley in Fort Smith.
What's new at Wheeler Power Sports? Short answer, a lot. All new Kawasaki Ninja 500, Z500, Eliminators, and Mule Pro Diesels. New Kawasaki Ridge side-by-side is now arriving. New Polaris Expeditions and Ranger XD 1500s. New Suzuki GSX 8R. New 2024 model Polaris Slingshots, including the Roush Edition, are now in stock. Check us out online at WheelerPowersports.com or stop by and see us at downtown Fort Smith at 901 North 11th Street. Wheeler Power Sports, keeping the good times rolling since 1967.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, occasional showers and thunderstorms, especially across the north, where you may see the potential for some heavier rainfall. Temperatures in the mid-70s north, mid-80s south. Chance of scattered rain and thunder tonight. Overnight lows will drop down into the low 60s, and then increasing sunshine. Highs in the mid-70s north, low 80s south on Tuesday. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Shamrock Liquor Warehouse, 5609 Midland Boulevard, your leader in fine wines, beers, and spirits. KERX Paris Fort Smith. This is Halftime, coming at you from the Crabtree RV Studios on ESPN 95.3. Coming to you live from the Crabtree RV Center Studios. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that doesn't respect it. If I'm all right. Why can't they dominate? And we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Yeah.
People said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. My hot dog. Let's go, man.
I have zero respect for saying no moss at halftime.
That's even one Razorback. It's vintage Matt Jones. 1, 2, 3. Here we go. Right now, let's take the field out.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
Welcome back. Hour number 3, halftime, 1 minute after the top of the hour. I'm Phil Elson with Matt Jones. C45 Colton Little producing for the remainder of the show. We'll have Connor O'Gara from Saturday Down South coming up in our next segment. Otherwise, open right now for you at 877-377-6963. Matt, Saturday was a big travel day for me. I had to stay in Columbus, Georgia. Of course, it's where I did the show Friday at the home of the Columbus Clingstones minor league baseball team. By the way, I saw a new minor league baseball team name that has outdone the Clingstones. The Beer City Bunghammers is an actual name for a minor league team that usually goes by the West Michigan Whitecaps. This would be the first time that the word bung has ever been included in a sports name before. So would you like a Bunghammers shirt, a Bunghammers hat? What do you think?
It sounds like your boy Johnny Damon has been doing some marketing.
Yes, it does. Maybe just a bung hat or a bung bat, something like that. All right. Otherwise, let's hit up some things here for 3 Up, 3 Down. My first up goes to Andrew Armstrong, not just for the numbers he put up at Auburn, which were a little shorter, a little smaller than what he did the previous 3 weeks. 5 catches, 47 yards, but it was getting up after getting absolutely rocked by Champ Anthony in that first quarter. And when I saw the hit, I thought he might have broken a rib or two, and maybe a while before we see him get back. But as long as it took him to get up, he got into that tent. And then after the injury to Anthony, which I've seen, he had successful surgery today to repair what was described as a broken leg, as we expected. Armstrong was already in the huddle. In fact, when the stretcher and the cart went right by the Arkansas sideline and went by the huddle, they went right by Andrew Armstrong, who'd been rocked by Anthony 2 plays earlier. So I thought that said a lot about Armstrong and his toughness, because that's all that was about. He could have been a guy who would be, you know what, I think I may be done for the day because I may be pissing blood, but I'm not sure if he did or not. To me, Matt, he showed a heck of a lot of toughness. My first down, it's got to go to Tyrone Broden. You're waiting for somebody to emerge as a second threat at wide receiver, and Green's been looking for Broden, as Mike Irwin had mentioned, 6'7". He's found himself open quite a few times, but just can't hold on to it right now. 2 games in a row, 0 for 9 targets in these last 2 games. It hasn't all been overthrows, and I know Broden's shown better than what he's given in games recently. Otherwise, he wouldn't be a starting receiver for Arkansas. Probably going to have to pick things up a little bit, and I do wonder if he'll see less playing time against A&M. Matt, what you got for your first down?
Well, first up, like I said on last Monday, every time the Hogs win, that's the first up, no question about it. It's tough to win in the SEC. It's tough to win on the road. Hogs go down there and get a victory. They did what they had to do. Shout out, attaboy, whatever. Game ball. What do you got to do? Number 18, Metcalf. He was in control of that game. Best player on the field, I thought. Shout out to the Hogs, no question. The first down is, man, there must be something rotten in Denmark, because I have no idea what Hugh Freeze is doing at Auburn. I don't think he knows what he's doing there at Auburn. It's going to get worse before it gets better. You look at their schedule. There's and then we go back to last year talking about how many teams did the Hogs beat that made a bowl game. We still haven't beat a team that's going to make a bowl game yet, because Auburn's not going to make a bowl game. A&M gives us a chance to actually beat a team that's going to make a bowl game, and A&M's better than Auburn. But whatever Auburn's got going, it is not good.
Second up I have here is learning why Ashton Noe won the punt snapping job, because he covers punts twice. Number 30 was the first down the field after snapping the ball to Devin Bale, and twice he crashed right into the Auburn punt returner, took him down, and then had a nice little celebration. That was great to see. A lot of hustle, because I think sometimes we forget that the long snapper also turns into a tackler. It just doesn't happen too often. But Noe seems to know what is he doing as far as that's concerned. Second down, C.J. Abrams of the Washington Nationals was an all-star this year and now finds himself demoted to AAA for the last week of the season to deliver a message because, Matt, get a load of this. The Nationals had a 2 o'clock game at Wrigley over the weekend. I think it was yesterday that they had a 2 o'clock game at Wrigley. Abrams was spotted, and it was tweeted about this. He was at the Bally's Casino outside of Chicago at 8 o'clock in the morning. He had turned an all-nighter at Bally's Casino, and 8 o'clock would be for 6 hours before first pitch. So he did start the game. He was the leadoff batter, 0 for 3, a walk and a strikeout, and now he's spending the rest of the season, which is a month, actually at the single-A affiliate because they're playing in the playoffs. The AAA team in St. Paul is not playing. So it's That's a different one right there. I've seen some ball players have all-nighters, but nobody reported them about it. So I don't know if they do bed check or anything like that. But here's a guy that was an all-star, and whatever it is that he put money on at Bally's, it's going to cost him, I think it was $40,000 is what he ends up missing out on because of the demotion. Now I know he can file a grievance with the players union, and maybe he will to save this, but it also does make me wonder if he's long for the Nationals organization much longer.
Yeah, don't usually teams have a curfew of some kind, some type of team policy? So I'm sure that's no bueno.
I think a policy would be don't be out 6 hours before first pitch.
Right. I mean, especially if you're in the 9. Come on. My second up. Liverpool smashed the Cherries of Bournemouth 3-0. Luis Diaz with the brace in the first half. Darien Nunez added another one. Those are both 2 guys, Phil, that the American team played in the Copa, from Colombia and from Uruguay. So those are some real talent up there, and a good victory for the Reds. The second down is, where is Mac Brown's spirit? It's on the James Madison bus going back to James Madison, because they crushed his. I mean, he was ready to never coach again after that ass whooping. I mean, that was wow. I mean, I did not 70 to 50, 5 turnovers for the Tar Heels, and Mac Brown was ready to give it up.
You see, that was Jacoby Criswell's first start with North Carolina. Passed for 475 yards, but he had to. They gave up over 50 points in the first half of that game. I think I saw where, pardon me, 70 points is the most ever scored against North Carolina in a home game. So, yeah, Criswell was 28 of 48, 475 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. And I think they got to him quite a few times. 8 carries, just 5 yards. 70 to 50. That's a basketball final
It's a video
score for the
game,
Dean
yeah.
Dome, but it's usually the Tar Heels over the Dukes, not the other way around. Third up, Steelers 3-0. I did not think they'd be 3-0. Really didn't think they'd be 3-0. Their defense is amazing. Absolutely amazing, the way that they're able to keep receivers in front of them, make just about every tackle that comes their way. And right now, Justin Fields is playing actually played a game like he can win you a game, not just a matter of don't go out there and lose us a game. So I do wonder moving forward if they keep winning him with Fields at quarterback and he's playing well, if Russ Wilson will start. Third down, Tennessee equipment truck was coming back from Norman early yesterday morning, and we got involved in an accident on I-40 in North Little Rock yesterday. Caused traffic to be diverted on the eastbound lanes for a few hours. And, hey, they got to come back this way. Remember, Arkansas, Tennessee, that's coming up in a couple of weeks. Maybe Tennessee might think about flying their equipment to Fayetteville instead of driving right past the same spot where the truck had to get towed away. And I don't know the result of this. Like, the truck got towed away, has to get fixed up. Maybe Tennessee has to FedEx all of their equipment back to Knoxville today. Wouldn't that be nice and expensive?
Well, my third up, there was a couple of them. I guess I'll give a shout out to the 3-0 teams: Vikings, the Sea Chickens, the Chiefs, the Steelers, which is America's team now. We all know that.
Thank you.
There's four teams start off the season 3-0. I don't think people had the Vikings, the Seahawks on that list. Some people probably had the Chiefs, probably not the Steelers. The Bills have a chance to be the 5th team to start 3-0. So we'll see tonight if they can get it done. And my third down, the Baylor secondary, or lack thereof. I watched pretty much that entire second half of that Colorado-Baylor game, and you talk about a giveaway. You know, Arkansas fans, we gave one away to Oklahoma State this year. Man, Baylor gave that game away. I mean, how are you not deeper than the deepest? How are you not? I mean, what's just let uncontested catch? I mean, uncontested 40-yard Hail Mary into the end zone or 50. I mean, just can't do that.
Speaking of Colorado, UCF in Orlando this Saturday. It is the national game picked up by Fox at 2:30. So I see KJ Jefferson against those Colorado Buffaloes this next Saturday. Quick break on halftime. When we return, joined by Connor O'Gara from Saturday Down South. So stay with us.
Connor, all I'll say is truck, yeah.
See, what every long shot come from behind underdog will tell you is this. The other guy may in fact be the favorite. The odds may be stacked against you, fair enough. But what the odds don't know is this isn't a math test. This is a completely different kind of test. One where passion has a funny way of trumping logic.
Listen to every Razorback football game this season right here on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
$11,000 off on remaining 2023 GMC Sierras, or up to $7,000 off on remaining GMC Yukon XLs at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. These are the largest factory discounts in years, so hurry before they're gone. Plus up to $6,500 off on in-stock 2024 GMC Sierras. Conquer the road with confidence in a GMC Sierra from Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
This is a public service announcement for hard seltzer lovers. Neutral Vodka Seltzer has arrived. Made with simple ingredients like vodka, seltzer, and real juice. Neutral tastes good. Like real good. So good that you'll never want to drink another artificial tasting seltzer again. Neutral's light and refreshing taste will show you what a vodka seltzer can be. Try Neutral, the one with the umlaut. Copyright 2023 Neutral Distilled Spirit Specialty, Los Angeles, California. Enjoy responsibly.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
In Arkansas, 7 out of every $10 placed on a sporting bet app is with Bet Saracen, because Bet Saracen offers more ways to win and more ways to get paid, and faster. Find your winners on Bet Saracen and look for my R prop bet specials. I pick them and you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
Come celebrate autumn in the natural state with Crabtree RV Center in Alma. Crabtree RV Center is having their big fall sale October 10th through the 13th. There will be special pricing and door prizes along with our experienced, knowledgeable staff to help you pick the perfect RV for your family. Come see why we've been voted the best of the River Valley in Northwest Arkansas. So mark your calendars for October 10th through the 13th and don't miss out on the big fall sale. Crabtree RV Center, making your family's dreams come true for over 70 years.
Today is the day. After countless hours of research, cutting back expenses, and 9 months of anxiously waiting for her, today is the day you finally bring home your new car. It's also the day to protect her with an auto policy from Shelter Insurance. Our policies are competitively priced and include new car replacement coverage if anything were to happen to your new baby.
Call Randy Milam in Alma or Brandon Zimmerman in Barton.
Clogs? Nobody wants a clog. Westart Plumbing knows that clogs are a serious issue. They can signal that bigger problems are on the way. So contact Westart Plumbing while the problem is small. Slow shower and sink drain, gurgling toilets, and outside cleanouts making a mess? Call 479-646-5151 today. Westart Plumbing and expert drain cleaning since 1993. They keep you flowing. If you have slow drains or high water bills, call Westart Plumbing and expert drain cleaning service. 646-5151.
Summer is here and adventure is calling. Visit Southern Tire Mart for a new set of Yokohama tires to get your vehicle ready for summer travels. Southern Tire Mart is your trusted partner for top quality tires, professional services, and competitive pricing. Visit us in Fort Smith at 9700 Highway 271 and let Southern Tire Mart ensure your vehicle is ready for the open road. Southern Tire Mart is a proud dealer of Yokohama tires. We keep America rolling.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
They gotta say it. If you're not drinking, then you're not playing. You turn music, you can turn music, and you don't you? I get this feeling like it all could happen. That's why I'm leaving you for the moment, boy blue. Yeah, you. Hard on the show, feeling so good. You say it's me, you say.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Time to talk with Connor O'Gara from Saturday Down South, national senior columnist covering college football. Connor, happy Monday, and now we're 4 weeks into the football season. How you doing?
Gentlemen, doing well. I never like to hear that 4 weeks into the season. It means I got to start doing some mid-season things really soon. No, I'm not a fan of that. It's still September, so we're good.
Well, all right, so Arkansas Auburn, thoughts on that game? 5-2 in turnovers, 3rd down and long, big difference why Arkansas won, and Hugh Freeze calling out his quarterbacks.
Goodness gracious. This game was a mess. It was a mess in a lot of different ways, but it's better to win a mess than lose a mess, which Arkansas did. And Arkansas did in large part because I think that defense of Travis Williams has really taken another step. And I think that as much as everybody wants to point out the mistakes made by those Auburn quarterbacks, Hank Brown throwing into triple coverage multiple times and not being able to identify things pre-snap or post-snap, you got to give Arkansas some credit for that. I mean, there's a reason why he looks that confused. If they're just playing a base defense, and he's unable to, and he's able to read coverages. It's a different story. So I do think that Arkansas deserves credit, and outside of a couple of coverage busts here or there, I thought it was a pretty well played game on that side of the ball. I think that Arkansas going into Jordan-Hare, even with an Auburn team that's down right now, is still such a huge win for Sam Pittman. I mean, just a really, really important win that if we were doing this forecasting in the preseason, we said, all right, what are the games that could actually get Arkansas to that next step and allow them to actually improve from last year? That was definitely one of them. Another one, of course, coming up this weekend against Texas A&M. But to be able to go into that place, even in a down year for Auburn, to me is just still a really, really encouraging sign for a program that you knew wanted to see those early signs and not go into the bye week at 2-4.
Yeah. Before we get your thoughts on Arkansas and A&M next week, Connor, I want to get your thoughts on that Tennessee-Oklahoma game. And, I mean, Tennessee doesn't look like they have much of a weakness, and they got a freshman quarterback out there. They look physical. They look fast. They look tough. They look like a playoff 12 team. How are your thoughts on Tennessee right now?
Man, championship contender, like legitimately. And I said coming into the year that I thought that Arkansas was going to be able to beat them that game in Fayetteville, and I think Arkansas is better than I thought better than I thought they were going to be. I think Tennessee is definitely better than I thought it was going to be coming into this season. You're right; they just don't have weaknesses. They have so many different ways to beat you, and think about this. Josh Heupel, in his 6 seasons as a head coach, he was 1-12 when his teams didn't hit 30 points, and they win that game on Saturday night, a game in which he recognized pretty early on, like, look, our defense has this. We don't need to ask Nico Iamaleava to do too many things, throw the ball 40 times, even though they're kind of shutting down our ground game. I thought that Tennessee's defense was the star of the show. And, yeah, Oklahoma, kind of similar issues at the quarterback spot than what Auburn had. I still think that what they're doing up front and dominating that battle in the trenches is so impressive, and it's different than what I thought any Josh Heupel team would have. So Tennessee, in my opinion, I think they should be ranked ahead of Ohio State. I think Ohio State, their schedule so far has been an absolute joke, and I would rather give Tennessee the benefit of the doubt. I think they're absolutely for real.
Who on Tennessee's schedule do they need to really be worried about? Because they do get Alabama in Knoxville. They get Georgia in Athens. Those are the toughest games. Which of those two teams would provide the biggest test for them?
I mean, I think both. If we're being honest, like, as much as I do think this Tennessee team is different, even than the 22 team that they had, I still think those are the big hurdles that they're going to have to overcome, and I would probably expect them to be an underdog in both of those games. Maybe not the Bama game. We'll kind of wait and see how that plays out. But, I do think that they match up extremely well with both of those teams. And maybe their Achilles heel could be defending mobile quarterbacks. You saw Michael Hawkins Jr. come into the game late, and he was able to do some things with his legs, kind of a style that Tennessee really hasn't had to face so far early in the season. So TBD on how that looks against Jalen Milroe. But for now, yeah, I mean, how could you not think that this is a playoff caliber team? With what they've done so far, for my money, they've been the most impressive team in all of college football. The lack of weaknesses that they've shown, how stout they've been to start off the year with 19 quarters not allowing an offensive touchdown, and doing so with an offense that good. It is just kind of checking all of these different boxes. And I bet both of those teams, whether they want to admit it or not, they're kind of looking at this Tennessee team with a side eye going, man, they can give us a true 60-minute game, and they can absolutely beat us.
Well, give me your sense of A&M in their first year under Elko, because I mean they're the second leading rushing team in the SEC. Arkansas is number 3. It looks like they've started to get the offense moving at least a little bit better with Marcel Reed, a guy that can really move, runs really well. I mean, that's one of the things about this Southwest Classic is you got a couple of the quarterbacks who could end up leading their team in rushing either game. What do you make of this matchup, Arkansas A&M? And, man, Connor, that's got to be independent of just the bad juju inside that stadium for Arkansas. We're talking strengths and weaknesses.
Yeah, I mean, that has to be discussed when we bring up anytime these two teams play, because obviously just the one Arkansas victory since they started doing that since A&M joined the SEC. But, I'll be interested to see if Connor Wigman gets a start in this one. I think as much as everybody wanted to crown Marcel Reed for his performance against Florida, you saw against Bowling Green, a game that they've really struggled to put away. I think you saw some of the weaknesses that they could have in the passing game. It's like, well, we're judging Connor Wigman based on what he did against an elite Notre Dame defense, an elite Notre Dame secondary with 8 months to prepare, as opposed to judging Marcel Reed against Florida, which that defense is just a train wreck right now. So to me, I wouldn't be surprised if Connor Wigman, if he's healthy, ends up starting. He was in street clothes for the game over this past weekend. But it will be interesting because I don't know that we're going to see Mike Elko tip his hand with that. And so that makes it a bit of a unique challenge for Travis Williams to try and prepare for. But I think the encouraging thing that you've seen so far from Arkansas is I think they've adjusted well defensively. And if they do have to chase someone around like Marcel Reed in this ground attack that's been a little bit more hot and cold probably than the numbers suggest so far, I do think that they'll be able to make some of those adjustments with how good they looked against Ollie Gordon second against Oklahoma State. So, yeah, I do think that A&M is always going to feel like it has the advantage in this matchup, but it is a pivotal game, I think, for Sam Pittman as you look at the remaining schedule and what feels like is a gauntlet that awaits in the second half.
Hey, Connor, watching, Arch Manning first career start. I know it was against Monroe. How would you grade his first career start? And is there any controversy there at all? As soon as Quinn Ewers is healthy, is he coming back in? Is he the guy?
It's like a C-plus start, and Ewers is the guy. I mean, Ewers was the Heisman Trophy favorite when he got hurt, and he suffers that oblique injury. It's kind of a weird deal if you're watching it, where it was basically like a non-contact injury, but I wouldn't be surprised if we see Arch Manning get another start against a lifeless Mississippi State defense, because you're trying to be conservative with Quinn Ewers, a guy that has missed multiple starts each of the last 2 years. And I think that starting Arch again and getting him reps against a quote-unquote SEC defense is really beneficial. I think you see all the promise with him. It's not difficult to see it. I mean, the mobility is better than what the Manning name would suggest. His ability to attack downfield, like some of these throws over the middle, you could confuse him for Carson Beck with how he rips it between the hashes. He looks really, really strong in that area. But then there are other times where you see the timing is off. And, yeah, he trusts the scheme, but sometimes he just doesn't necessarily make those reads early enough when you need them to in the Steve Sarkisian offense. It's no quarterback controversy whatsoever. Quinn Ewers is the guy as long as he's healthy. But if we see Arch Manning this weekend against Mississippi State, just to make sure that Quinn Ewers is 100% healthy for the Red River rivalry coming off of the bye week, it wouldn't necessarily surprise me.
So a couple more things for you here, Connor. The injury to Harold Perkins out for the rest of the year with a knee injury, and we expected this would be the last season he played at LSU and go into the NFL draft. Huge freshman season. Last year his role changed. His numbers took a dive. This year also just looked like, I'm not going to say he was ineffective, just wasn't getting to quarterbacks and was still dropping back at times. How does this affect LSU? Because they've already struggled a bit defensively at times.
It definitely affects them. And look, I don't have to tell Arkansas fans about how good Harold Perkins is when he's unleashed. I mean, they'll never forget Harold Perkins Day in 2022. But to me, it is just such a devastating blow to see what's happened the last year plus with him, and to see a program that is known for having these standout defensive players struggle to find the right way to use him. It's a shame. It really is. And I don't know with certainty that he's played his last college down. I'm actually writing something right now, like literally have this open as we speak, about why it could actually make sense for him to play one more year as a guy that projects as very much a tweener at the NFL level. But, man, it definitely impacts this LSU team that's trying to make a push to the 12-team playoff, because I think they've figured a lot of things out on the offensive side of the ball. Like Garrett Nussmeier has been everything LSU fans could have hoped for and more. They're still figuring out the ground game, but they do have a high-powered offense. The defense has just been so quarter to quarter with them, and not have potentially a generational type talent in the middle of that defense. Even if he's out of position, to me, it's still just such a massive, massive setback for Blake Baker and what he's trying to do. It definitely makes LSU a more favorable matchup for its future opponents.
Hey, Connor, big one. Georgia, Alabama is the winner, the number one team in the country. And who do you got in this Georgia Alabama matchup?
Yeah, it could very well be. I think the winner of this game has a real case to be number one. And I say that as someone that has banged the drum for Alabama, and I think that Jalen Milroe coming into the season, he was my predicted Heisman Trophy winner. I think so far there's been a lot of really positive signs with his development in this Kalen DeBoer offense. But man, I think Kirby's got something for Bama. I do. And maybe it's post Nick Saban and the boogeyman's gone, whatever the case may be. Quarterbacks just don't beat Kirby Smart twice. The only one who's done it is Joe Burrow. I mean, think about that. Like, it is such a rare thing to do, such a rare thing to do for Nick Saban during his time at Alabama. Of course, Jordan Jefferson is the only one who beat Alabama in consecutive starts while Nick Saban was there. And so asking Jalen Milroe to do that after all the things he did well in that SEC championship last year, it might be too difficult. It really might be. I can't wait for this one on Saturday night. Bama, home underdog potentially for the first time since 2007. I mean, I know we get sick of seeing these teams play in the SEC championship because it feels like it happens every year. But I love when they get to face off in the regular season especially. So, yeah, the winner of this one very much has a case to be the number one team in the country and has a strong case to be at the top of that 12-team playoff discussion.
Connor, you're good to join us. Appreciate your time. Thanks a lot. Couple of weeks, okay?
Gentlemen, sounds good. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Connor.
Connor O'Gara, you can read his column Saturday Down South, or you'll get him here on Halftime every couple of weeks. And speaking of that, Auburn, Georgia game, Bet Saracen's got Georgia favored -2.5 on the road. They've got Arkansas, a road dog. Well, I wouldn't say a road dog, just neutral site dog, +3.5, +140 on the money line. They got all sorts of props on tonight's 2 NFL Monday night football games, Jags and Bills, Commanders at Bengals. It's all right there at your Bet Saracen app. It works on your Apple iPhone. Just download from the App Store. Android users, download Google Play. Any web browser works as well. BetSaracen.com. Remember, got to be inside the state of Arkansas to use Bet Saracen. We are into the home stretch of halftime on a Monday. Calls and texts come in at 877-377-6963. And before the break, let's take a phone call here from Walt, who's been waiting a little bit. Walt, thanks for holding. How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing great, and it's such a tremendous honor to talk to you and Matt. You know,
Thank you very much, Walt. Appreciate that.
But, man, our offense still got to find ourselves. We got to clean up the mistakes. But, man, T-Will, he's a monster. He's an absolute monster. I mean, that guy is really good at what he does. You know,
really seems to be. I mean, I think he had the defense playing at a fairly high level until for something happened the last couple of SEC games, and this year from the start, I think the defense has played very, very well.
Last year, it was one of them things. There was a cultural problem last year. You know,
there's also an offensive problem. And Matt, one thing you've hit on a few times. One way to help the defense out is for the offense to hold on to the ball. They're doing that. I mean, they're doing that to the tune of, let's see, they're holding on to the ball for an average of 33 minutes a game. That's second best in the SEC. And, heck, I mean, even at a game, they had the ball for 10 minutes more than their opponent. So that's got to help a little bit too, doesn't it?
Man, absolutely.
Calls and texts. Good. All right, calls and texts will come in at 877-377-6963. Stay with us, home stretch. We'll take your calls, get your texts, and get into the home stretch right after this.
If you see a possum, try to kill it. It's not a pet.
This is Halftime. You can now download our new app in the iTunes or Google Play Store. Listen anytime and anywhere on your favorite mobile device. Just search Hit That Line Now.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $200-$300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code BUY to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code BUY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code BUY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
You're listening to Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Valley Family Dental, formerly known as Riley Farm Dental, at the entrance to Riley Farms, provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. Dr. Sparkman, Farmer, and now Dr. Blaine Van Nice work to give all of their patients better lives with a better smile. Valley Family Dental, now offering same-day crown service. Mention you heard this ad on ESPN Radio at your next appointment and receive a free bleaching kit or $100 off in-office accelerated whitening. Call 226-3500 for an appointment or visit valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
Man, I wish I knew you were here. We hear that every day at In-Stock Parts, located off Highway 45 across from the cold storage in Fort Smith. Are you a maintenance technician, landscaper, farmer, or a do-it-yourselfer in need of bearings, belts, or roller chain, or safety supplies like gloves, safety glasses, or earplugs? Maybe you need drill bits, tap and die sets, lubricants, or even a gas-powered pump or generator. Don't waste your time driving around. Stop by In-Stock Parts, your industrial parts resource, or check them out online at InStockParts.com. In-Stock Parts.
Colorworks Paint and Body in Barling offers professional automotive painting, bodywork, and fabrication that is unsurpassed in talent and dedication. Owner Andy Harrod uses the latest in collision repair technology to ensure all damage is addressed, whether it's visible or hidden, and works with all insurance companies. Andy and his crew have the experience and commitment to give you complete trust in the repair of your vehicle, no matter the size of the job. Colorworks is located at 1206 4th Street in Barling, across from Dollar General, and is on Facebook, where you can check out their work.
Let me grab my car keys and we'll roll.
We still going to that new bar downtown?
Yeah, it's supposed to be fun. Lexi, give me driving directions from home to downtown bar district.
Autocorrect. Suggest Uber. Pick up, home. Drop off downtown bar district.
No, I'm driving.
Suggest the Metro bus. Departing in 12 minutes.
Point taken, Lexi. We'll grab a ride.
If you drink, don't drive. Decide to ride. Brought to you in partnership by Anheuser-Busch, Mothers Against Drunk Driving, and Uber.
It's the test drive giveaway at Harry Robinson's Salisaw Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salisaw through Monday. Test drive any vehicle on the lot. Troy, it's hunting season. You're giving away some great prizes that are perfect for the outdoors.
Yes, they definitely are, Tommy. Get down here and see us. Go on a test drive. Your name gets entered. And, when we do these giveaways, typically there's 1, 2, maybe 3 winners. Guys, there's going to be almost 10 winners of these prizes. So come down here and see us. Go on a test drive. You're talking about crossbows, compound bows, deer stands, deer feeders, call packs. We're giving away 2 Alta gift cards. So come down here to Harry Robinson Salisaw Ford. This is where you're going to find your best deal on your new vehicle purchase and pre-owned, and also where you can just test drive a vehicle and get your name entered for one of these lucky giveaways.
It cost absolutely nothing.
It cost $0 to come drive one of these cars. Come down here and see us.
The test drive giveaway, Harry Robinson Salisaw Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off of I-40 in Salisaw.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
John is in the basement mixing up the medicine. I'm on the pavement thinking about the government. The man in a trench coat, badge out laid off, says he got a bad cough, wants to get it paid off. Took out kids, there's something you did. God knows when, but you're doing it again. You better duck down the alleyway, looking for a new friend. The man in the coonskin cap and a big pen wants $11 bills. You only got 10.
Welcome back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Got a question or comment for the guys? Call or text 877-377-6963. Let's get back to the show with the voice of Arkansas Razorback baseball, Phil Elson, and Razorback football legend Matt Jones.
Go right to the phones as we open this segment with a call from Rebecca. Rebecca, thanks for calling halftime today. What's going on?
Hey, guys. I had seen both of y'all a couple of times recently at Hard Scrabble in Fort Smith. I just wanted to say to Matt, the post-game hog reaction show, you're my favorite one listening to doing the analysis of the games. I love it. I think you're doing the A&M game too, aren't you?
Yes, ma'am.
Hopefully, you'll be breaking down another win.
That's right.
I got a text from what I call my Auburn cousin. He's an Auburn grad, and he said that our Tennessee game is going to be a night game.
Yeah, it's either going to be 6 o'clock or 6:30. ESPN announced that. Well, I guess SEC announced it today. It'll either be ABC or ESPN, and I really do think Arkansas beats A&M. You're going to have game day in Fayetteville for the first time in, gosh, I think it's been, when was the last time?
Did McFadden not get one? Did they get one with Mallet? Those would be the only two times I would think that they had a chance.
It might have been an Arkansas-Tennessee game the last time it happened. I have to go back and check on all of that because it has been years.
That's what I'm remembering of Tennessee years ago. Thank you for taking my call, guys.
Yeah, you're welcome, Rebecca. Thank you for calling. Still have some time for calls at 877-37. 18 years is what Chris says. 18 years. And I know it was a Tennessee game. So you hear it every once in a while. You hear the soundbite of Lee Corso saying, "Give me that thing here. I love Arkansas. I love Arkansas." I'm pretty sure that was a Tennessee game. So that would be a great way to show off Fayetteville in the fall. I mean, you'll get your changing colors of the leaves and everything. You'll have a sellout crowd. It'll be a night game. It's the best way to, who knows, hopefully rally a team towards a win. But first, you got to beat A&M first. That's the first thing.
Take those goalposts down Dixon Street. That's right. Storm the field. That would be a storm. That'd be a field stormer. I think, Phil, if we beat Tennessee at home, and Tennessee probably going to be ranked in the top 5, you got to think that Georgia-Alabama game, whoever loses probably drops behind Tennessee just because, even though it's not a bad loss.
Terry's here with us. Terry, what's going on? How are you today?
Hello?
Terry, hey, how you doing? You're on the radio. What's going on?
Hey, well, good to how y'all doing today?
Good,
I had a couple of things. Well, everybody's been grappling, which we've had problems with field goals here the last couple of weeks. But did y'all see that the player that we've got signed out of Mississippi for next year, he's basically a 5-star kicker. And he kicked the longest field goal in Mississippi high school football last Friday, 60-something yards. And he's supposed to be on campus next year. And
Yeah,
I was
I've seen
also
about
wondering,
that. It would have broken. His name's Evan Noel. He's from Bay
Yeah,
St.
that's
Louis,
him.
Mississippi. Would have broken the SEC record for length of a field goal.
yeah, and also, did Auburn have any recruits Saturday that Arkansas is also recruiting?
I
Yeah,
don't
so,
know
on the
offhand,
sideline.
but I do think there are some. I know Arkansas has been in on a few Alabama kids, but I don't know any of them offhand. That's something I'd check in with Danny West about. But I did see one of the recruits Auburn came in, told a reporter that, quote, "I did not see the things I wanted to see," unquote, talking about the Auburn program. So might not have been the thing that their fans or Hugh Freeze would have wanted to hear.
I don't think I would ever want my kids playing for Hugh Freeze. But anyway, and the final thing, which I know it's trivial, but this, belt that they have on the sideline for Arkansas, it just reminds me of the old-time Miami team that, I don't know, I just think it's tacky. I don't know why.
What is it you're seeing on the sideline? Is it the heavyweight belt?
Yeah, the heavyweight belt.
Well,
I
I don't know if everybody's still doing that kind of stuff.
Well, Arkansas was doing it for the first time, and I just feel like it's a little bit tacky.
Terry, appreciate your phone call. Thanks for dialing us up today. 877-377-6963. Saw them doing with the kind of the heavyweight belt, but I guess I haven't seen as many like turnover celebrations as we used to see. The turnover chain with Miami, maybe it's run its course by now, or maybe it's just moved to baseball where they're doing all kinds of props in the dugouts.
Hey, if you're going to get 5 turnovers a game, you can have a tea party in the end zone for all I care. I mean, get whatever it takes to get 5 turnovers a game. Come on. I mean, let's be serious.
Here's Robert. What's up, Robert? How are you?
Phil, man, I cannot believe after you were talking about college game day and us actually maybe playing with Tennessee. Did you watch the OU Tennessee? Heupel put the brakes on so he wouldn't beat the crap out of OU. We can't play with them right now.
Well, there's no other games that week that I think they would attract. If they're putting that game on at 6 o'clock or 6:30 on their main network, that's, to me, telling you
it's one of the top 4 that's going to be game day. It's definitely in consideration.
Okay, consideration, I'll give you that. But I'm just saying, we will not be able to play with them right now. I mean, our offense is putrid. I mean, yeah, they've come away, but they ain't near that type of football yet. That's a real team. I mean, they were striking when they wanted to. And no, their defense is about like ours, OU's is, but their offense is like ours. They're both terrible, But I was just, that's a lot of Kool-Aid there, guys.
I mean, I don't really see it as Kool-Aid. It's just saying that ESPN might send their pregame show here.
Man, it's A&M week.
Independent of what the betting line is. I don't think they're looking at betting lines. They're looking at team records. They're looking at what the other games are. What are they going to do that week? Are they going to go to Auburn versus Georgia? That's not the kind of matchup that's going to get. I mean, otherwise they'd have put that game at 2:30 at 6 o'clock or 6:30. You're going to go to Ole Miss, South Carolina. Maybe that would be one they go to. That you could be up against that game instead. Maybe that'll be a tighter one. I'm just saying they're going to look at a 4-1 team and a 4-0 team, and think, yeah, this could be a place we'll go. So I don't know if they'd be looking at the betting line in that case.
Got to win
in Springfield. Well, yeah. First you got to win. First you got to win the game on Saturday. Right. But I don't know if it's like why everybody goes to Kool-Aid if you're like saying something that could be like, oh, imagine if that would happen or everything. It's like, I understand not wanting to buy into things, but it's like the idea that a television executive will look at 4-0 versus 4-1 and think, nah, that's not something we want in our league where this is actually the game that may be on our national over-the-air network. Of course they wouldn't send game day there. Of course they would send game day in there in that case. Drew Dog reminds us Dubinion's been suspended. I don't know why he's been suspended. I'm sure they have not given details about that. So I don't know what the case is, but just like hints from what Sam Pittman has said the last couple of weeks, I don't think he was practicing very well. So, there may have been an injury in there, which might have slowed him down in August. But then based on what Sam said, he hasn't practiced well, so maybe there's some hurt feelings as to where he'd been on the depth chart. Remember, he wasn't the second stringer to start the season; he was third stringer. Hill had surpassed him, but that also kind of flies in the face of the idea that that's the one guy from the backfield that came back that didn't transfer away. So he obviously sees something with the program, with his coach, with the offensive coach, and maybe what he thought was his standing in terms of playing time, but that's not his standing in terms of playing time any longer. Hey, don't want to forget about the Booyah Mobster, the hottest swimming jig on the Arkansas River right now. It wins tournaments on Lake Dardanelle and Kerr Lake like clockwork. When you're fishing submerged or matted grass, have the Booyah Mobster with you. It's going to reel them in, and you'll find it at learnet.com and tackle stores all throughout Arkansas and Oklahoma. Quick break and back to wrap up halftime right after this.
This is halftime.
The Wave Rural Connect Shoal Creek Zone is open. Fast fiber internet, TV, and home phone available. This covers Midway, New Blaine, Scranton, Delaware, and other areas. Even if this isn't your zone, check your address. We might be available for you. Get your whole home solution. Internet, TV, and phone from a local provider. Go to signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
At Arvest Bank, we believe in the power of serving others. That's why we're committed to working with and supporting those who serve our communities. From the ones who are making a difference in big and small ways every day, to those who are helping create better tomorrows. We appreciate everything you do, and we're proud to work alongside you. Because every community deserves a financial partner who cares. Arvest Bank. We believe.
This is Coke Zero Sugar. Could I be the best Coke ever? Try and taste with your ears. Hear those bubbles? Imagine them tingling on your tongue. Fizzy deliciousness. Listen to that cascading liquid. A mouth-watering waterfall. Irresistibly tasty. Zero sugar. Crisp, refreshing, and ice cold. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide.
Hi, everybody. Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center with the exciting news. Backed by popular demand, state sales tax paid when you trade on our huge inventory of road-ready certified vehicles. That's right. This month, get the best used car your money can buy, road-ready certified with warranty, and get your state sales tax paid when you trade. One more reason all the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, just north of Phoenix on Towson, Fort Smith.
Do you need an attorney that you can actually speak with? You need Hickey & Hole Law Partners. The attorneys at Hickey & Hole understand the importance of client communication and are taking the time to meet you, respond to emails, and return calls. Every case is important, and they strive to give each one the time and attention it deserves. Call today, 479-434-2414, or visit them online at kevinhickeylaw.com. Hickey & Hole Law Partners. Things are about to get better.
Missing or broken teeth? Sharp Smiles wants you to start chewing again with dental implants. Scared of the dentist? Sharp Smiles will help you overcome your fear. Big dental problems? Sharp Smiles Modern Dentistry and Implants is your answer to your dental needs and services, where your smile is top priority. Get the smile you have always wanted from the friendly faces at Sharp Smiles, 2600 Market Trace, Suite B, off Jenny Lind across from Harps. For more information, visit the website at sharpsmilesdds.com or call 648-9988.
Today is the day. After countless hours of research, cutting back expenses, and 9 months of anxiously waiting for her, today is the day you finally bring home your new car. It's also the day to protect her with an auto policy from Shelter Insurance. Our policies are competitively priced and include new car replacement coverage if anything were to happen to your new baby.
See Agent Chris Dooley in Fort Smith.
Have you been to the River Valley's only multi-sport facility? Then let's hang out. The Hangout in Fort Smith is the only sports facility that offers indoor tennis and pickleball, indoor and outdoor basketball, and has now added multiple soccer fields. Soccer leagues are forming soon. Did you know the Hangout also has an 8,000 square foot fitness center with bar, yoga, HIIT, and Pilates classes? The Hangout, 5400 Gary Street, or thehangoutfs.com. Fitness, sports, and more. Let's hang out.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
See the vegetable man in the vegetable van with the horn that's honking like a mariachi band. In the middle of the street, people gather around. Color in the can. Hey, wait, KO. The TJ Cowboys hang around. Sleeping in the sidewalk with the Burger King crown. Never wake them up. Más cerveza to the rooster crows. Vatos vergallos.
Find Halftime on 99.5 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith and the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs and Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Join the conversation. Call or text 877-377-6963. Now back to the hosts. Here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Jimbo Fisher at the Little Rock Touchdown Club this afternoon, speaking on something that our co-host Matt Jones knows very well about, the famous Miracle on Markham.
You would not want to see because you were talking about
we're fixing to win the SEC West in 2002, and we lined up and y'all were backed up. They completed 2 daggone passes the whole day. Y'all completed 2 passes the whole day. You're inside your own 10, all right, and you line up and you're in a trips formation to the right. And this is honest, I told you this, you didn't know this. And remember, you guys hit a pass almost to midfield. It got almost. So our corner, believe it or not, he lined up so wide, and we come off a timeout, come off the change of possession after the kickoff. Our corner never saw the receiver, and he lined up on the number 2 guy. And he ran down the field completely. I mean, you coach all your life, and you're ready to win. We're going to win the SEC West. And they hit the pass to around midfield a little farther, and then the next play scrambled around, threw it up in the end zone, caught a jump ball, and beat us. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, and then
anything else you want to know? And tell you what, if we'd have scored a touchdown on the drive, you held us to a field goal, which kept it a 6-point game, which helped the game. We'd scored a touchdown when you put it away. I was the OC, I remember.
so funny. Last night I said, you remember the Miracle on Markham? He said, what? That's what it's called? I said, that is what it's called. But
that's funny.
The Misery in Baton Rouge.
The Misery in Baton Rouge is what he referred to it as. And he's still the fastest talker on earth. He is the Micro Machines guy, Matt, but listening to that, I at least got to bring back some memories of where he's talking about the defensive back lining up.
Oh, nobody. I was just as surprised, and that's the inconsistencies you get in the college game that you don't have at the next level. It's like Baylor, Colorado yesterday. I don't believe you make you pull your hair out. How he catches that ball uncontested. You're just like, what? You work your whole camp. You do everything. You go over this, and that's what you do, man. It'll make your hair turn gray. Well, I mean, I don't.
You're
you
so
don't
right
have
about
hair, but.
Well, I mean, I've got enough on my face that it can go. It's starting to go gray. It already has started to go gray. You got a little bit of that gray working too down the street, down the sides of the beard. It happens. Maybe it happened to you as well. Well, I mean, you kind of move on to A&M, and that's why you bring Fisher in this week. David's so good at getting, and I was on the same flight back to Little Rock with David. He's so good at getting guests that she's like, well, where else is Jimbo Fisher going to talk this year? Like, not at all. He got Gruden when he wasn't speaking to anybody. He got Petrino to come back to Arkansas for the first time, for crying out loud, and then this. And then Jimbo Fisher, the Micro Machines guy, doing his thing where – yeah, it's the only guy that I've heard where you really need to slow his cadence down to like half speed, and then you can understand the things that he's saying. But
was that 45 and a half or 33 and a half or 33 and a third? Yeah, you got to.
Yeah, he's the 45 on the 33 and a third.
You got to move it just a skosh.
Well, he's the Chipmunks. He's Alvin of the Chipmunks as a coach. All right, if you missed anything today on Halftime, the Eastside Liquor podcast ready to go shortly. Our conversations with Mike Irwin and with Connor O'Gara. Ruskin and Zach are standing by. Take it from 2 until 6 o'clock, and we're back with you tomorrow for another award-winning edition of Halftime. For Matt Jones, for Kristen Johnston, and for Colton Little, I'm Phil Elson. Thanks for listening today. That's Halftime. Now get up, get out, and get better.